Well, there goes the Daverhood. Good morning, everybody. Welcome live on this Saturday morning. Bring that balloon back here. Thank you. Saturday morning, May 2nd, to the 1030th episode of The Dave's Gone By. Facebookio, Podcastio, Programmio of the stream with me, Dave Lefkowitz, and my darling and adorable wife with us here, as she always is, and all of you watching at home, for this wonderful weekly show that we've been doing since 2002. And yes, we're back at it. We really have done 1,030 episodes of these. And this one is going to be the same in a lot of ways, but also we always have some different stuff to do. So, here we go. Okay, one more. Here we go. Oops. Oh, wait, look at me.
Oh, I threw the garbage.
So yeah, so glad
Let's
that
try with tea.
so glad that you tuned in on this Saturday, because we're calling this episode CALI for ya. Get it? Well, you don't get it yet because you don't get the pun. But our guest in the Daverhood, coming up in a while, is actor, director, playwright Richard Caliban. Now, Richard Caliban has been a figure in the off-Broadway scene for about 40 years now. In fact, he co-founded or started a theater company in New York called Cucaracha Theater that was very acclaimed, very well known for because it was started in this giant warehouse that they had downtown back when New York was still like a real artist place, and everybody was broke, but it was okay that you were broke and you pulled your funds and you did what you... So you had like a 10,000 square foot space in Soho or NoHo or Doho or one of those places, and had a theater company there that was acclaimed by the New York Times. I think a bunch of his work and other work. Well, Richard Caliban, Cucaracha is no longer a thing, but he still is, and he's still constantly writing and directing. He's got a new show that he is directing that you can see. Let me make sure I have the... I always forget the one page because I printed out earlier than everything else that I'm working on. Yes, he's directing a show called Movies TV Mayhem that is playing now through next weekend over at Theater Row. So that is off-Broadway, full off-Broadway, not even off-off. So Richard Caliban is going to be chatting with the one, the only, the Jewish Rabbi Sol Solomon on this episode of the program about Caliban's life, his career, his art, about Movies, TV, Mayhem, both literally in name, title of the show and figuratively as subject matter.
When people are listing their nominees for the different awards.
Oh, well, yeah, this is the time, speaking of theater,
like they're saying, these are my list.
Yeah.
Like David Short, like this is my list of nominations,
Well, David Sheward, our friend of the Daverhood, a theater critic, who writes for TotalTheater.com, he liked a lot of things this year, so I'd be interested to see what he really puts as his top of the toppermost.
I have to look. I'm going to look.
Because everybody's, the nominations are coming out for Drama Desk, Drama League, Outer Critics Circle. Tony noms are probably another week away, because the Tony season would have just been ending now. So, let's see what we've got. No, it's cool. But anyway, yeah, it's that time of year. It's theater-ish time. I don't have that much to say about it because I haven't been to New York to see theater in many months now. So kind of out of the loop. Yeah.
Here's where it says so far. It's the one that looks like a list.
Oh, well, I think that what's happening is the drama desks are being announced as we speak. No, this is 2 days ago. I'm sorry.
Being announced?
This is how I'm out of it. Not the winners, the nominees.
He's talking about his predictions, right?
No, he's saying these are the Drama Desk nominees.
Oh, okay. You want me to look it up on the thing? I'll find
Well,
out.
he's got them listed here.
Okay.
So he's making commentary on. So just so you know,
Yeah.
for outstanding music. Now remember, the Drama Desk mixes both Broadway and off-Broadway. They don't segregate them in most of the categories.
Yeah.
So Broadway shows are Schmigadoon and Two Strangers Carry a Cake Across New York. And then you've got Bo the Musical, Mexodus, and The Seat of Our Pants. So basically nobody's seen 3 out of 5 of those.
Wow.
But
they still can, right? They have to vote, don't you?
No. Well, no. Especially off-Broadway shows would have closed months ago. Both Schmigadoon and Strangers are still playing on Broadway. So those are going to be, it'll be between the two of them in terms of the Drama Desk vote. The Tonys will throw in some Broadway musicals, which, I'm wondering what they will be.
I don't know.
Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah, but it's people are posting, right? You said that was the time when people are starting to have that discussion.
Well, people are now have to vote.
Oh, look at all these. Did you talk about all these?
No, I took one
I'm
category.
No, I thought it was just, I didn't see all of them. I thought it was just 5 lines. It's,
No, well, but the thing is, Stewart is listing. He used to be like the president of the Drama Desk.
that's right, yeah.
He's listing the nominees for this season and then commenting on them and saying what was left out.
Oh,
What we do on our Tony show, which we'll most likely be doing in a month from now. So he says, why wasn't a lot of people feel like this, The Lost
about?
Boys, which just opened on Broadway,
What was it?
was left out. It's a vampire musical, but a really good one, apparently.
People like vampires, yeah.
Well, no, not on Broadway they don't, because Lestat and
Oh.
Dance of the Vampires, which I saw. I saw
The
both of
Phantom
them.
of the Opera. He's not a vampire.
He's not a vampire, he's just a,
like a ghost,
Ghoul,
or like
yeah,
a figure. Oh, okay.
yeah. And he says also something called My Joy is Heavy was not nominated. And My Prostate is Heavy. I don't know about My Joy, though, but let's see. Oh no, I lost the, here it is. So outstanding, what else we got here? Play, for those of you who care about plays. Caroline, Cold War Choir Practice. Meet the Cartosians.
I'll probably do. Oh, were they toes?
And I'm sure I'll
Were they
get
toes?
like CART.
Were they toes?
I think they were. Well, that show has legs. And I'm sure I'll get hate mail and lose jobs over this, but I'm just reading the title of the show here: Prince Faggot.
Wow.
Okay, and make believe it's a match. The Ballisters. That's supposed to be really good on Broadway.
These are plays?
These are just plays.
Oh, okay.
The Porch on Windy Hill, and Well, I Let You Go. I
Are
read
they
about
the
that
ones
one.
nominated or the ones he said should have been nominated?
No, these are the nominees.
Oh, these are official. Okay.
And he has no commentary about them.
Okay.
He probably will if we interview him on
Or
the Tony
probably
Show.
once he can type it up. I mean, it's probably dragging on.
Yeah. Now, revival of a musical. Okay, so these are old shows that are being done again on or off Broadway. Amal and the Night Visitors. I don't know, maybe Encores was doing that. Chess, which has finally been a success. They revived it on Broadway. It was a big flop
Wow.
many years ago.
Is that just 2 people playing chess?
I think I would enjoy that more. No, it's Tim Rice and I forget who it's an ABBA guy, I think, Lauren Anderson.
Playing chess?
Well, it's about a chess match. Really? Do you want to say what just happened? No. Ragtime, which apparently a really good revival. 25th Annual Putnam County Spelling Bee, which they revived off Broadway.
Oh, that's a cute one.
And that was a nice show. The Baker's Wife, which I wish I could get to see.
The Canterbury Tales? Like the Baker's Wife is one of the
I think it's related to
It's one of the tales, right?
And then a revival of the Rocky Horror Show. Of all things, Rocky Horror is, I think they did it right this time. Well, I mean, it's not that they did it wrong last time, or that the original.
They just updated it, right?
Yeah, well, they threw in new jokes and they have a new perspective. It's kind of like what they're doing with Cats, the Jellicle Ball, where they took everybody's most boring classic musical, Cats, and apparently, again, I haven't seen any of these.
Like disco?
Well, yeah, they figured out a way of being a drag ball, and they're all competing against each other for Queen, Princess, Transy Drag Award person. And so that gives the story some oomph, instead of this cat, that cat, this cat, that cat. It's like, oh, I'm going to tell my story, and I'm bucking for the grand prize.
Are you a cat?
Everybody wants to be a cat. Everybody wants to be a cat. Do, do, do. Now, if that song were in Cats, it would be a better show too. Anywho, so yes, all the nominations are coming out, and
See if other people are doing that announcement.
late May and first week in June, there'll be all the awards and the award ceremonies and things like that, which we will keep tabs on, as I always have on Dave's Gone By, because putatively at least I'm still a theater critic, and still when I get to New York, will see as much as I can, review it for you guys, and then we do. It's going to be weird this year if we do a Tony show, just because I've seen only a very small handful of productions this year. But I can talk to all the theater critics who have, as I always do, and get their opinions and get them to explain what the shows are, what they thought of them, and it's still a really good time. I just wish I could play also more show tunes the way I used to. It's again in my head this week because I've been going through all these old episodes and putting them on Spotify, and it's so great to come across these Tony episodes that we did 8 or 9 years ago, and they were 5, 6, 7 hours long because I have all these interviews with all these theater critics weighing in on a particular category, as we always do, and then I have one or two Tony-related Broadway people, like stars, that would be interviewed, and then there'd be a quiz, and we do all that. But then I could also play songs from the Tony-nominated musicals and the musical revivals. So that would play, there'd be an hour worth of music in this 4, 5, 6 hour show, or more. And I loved it. It was so much fun, and now I can't really do the music because of, YouTube rules and Facebook rules and just being... blocked.
Why do they not take down your friend at WGBB who plays music?
I have no idea.
Maybe he gets taken down too.
And Facebook takes down everything after a month now. Every video.
They probably do it too.
And he doesn't save his shows on YouTube as I do.
Oh, there you go. That's right. Then there's no way. Then it's not being screened.
But I still don't understand how, and I've complained about this so many times, how a person can love a music video or create a music video for a song that they love, post it on YouTube, get 30,000 views, probably not get paid for it, but YouTube doesn't bother them. YouTube takes a look at a show that I did in 2014.
They're using YouTube, they're using other platforms, they're not using YouTube.
No, but they're posting it on YouTube.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
I don't think so. I think it's like a TikTok something.
No. Go on YouTube and look for
I'm not looking
any album, any song by anybody that isn't the artist's official channel.
How does that happen?
I don't freaking know. Because it's irritating. I go look back for old episodes on YouTube, and I have access to them because it's on my own site. Yeah. But it'll say blocked in 75 countries across the world, including the US. So nobody else but me can see this show. Why? Because I played a Bob Dylan song. Because I played some other CBS or Atlantic or, Universal artist. And that irritates me quite a lot. Because the whole point of doing this show is that people get to see and hear the program. And that's one of the reasons I have a website of my own, davesgoneby.com, where you can hear all the episodes in full. All the music, right? All the talk, all the interviews, all the craziness and the skits. But all of it, the gestalt of when we really were a radio show. As opposed to this hybrid video cast, still semi-radio, talk radio, rather than talk and DJ radio, which is what I really wanted for the program and had for many, many years. I always feel like, I was thinking about this week too, and last week, that, how we think of humanity in 3 stages? Like, Shakespeare did 7 stages of man, but really we think of youth, middle age, old age. So, if I die within the next year or 2 or 3, then the past few years of this program are the old age of the show. But I don't see it like that.
David, you're gonna be like 107, wearing a little diaper. You're gonna have maybe 1 tooth. And you're gonna, maybe sometimes the computer will be on. Sometimes the computer will not be on. Sometimes you will be mumbling and sometimes you will be coherent and you will be doing your show.
I'm not coherent now,
You will
but
be
yeah.
doing your show. I think when you take your last David breath, you'd be like, and Dave's gone. I think you're gonna do this your whole life until you're like in your hundreds.
But that's why I think
this is like your, I don't know, not even your mid-career. I think you got a lot of shows.
Well, that's the thing. I think what it is because instead of youth, middle age, and old age, because I think everybody separates
I
their
think it's
careers like that.
Development of your show.
Yeah, because the youth was obviously me at the radio station on Long Island, WGBB.
I wouldn't even think youth. I would think that's like the beginning of your career.
Infancy.
Beginning of that career.
Yeah, but I was already in my 30s.
But it doesn't have to do with age. It just has to do like, that's when you really thought that's something you want to explore.
Yeah.
You know, like I think that was like the nascent time of your career.
But I was there for 7 or 8 years.
Wow.
So it's not just like 1 or 2 years I learned my, oh no. I was there from 2002 through 08, 09.
Wow, it doesn't seem like that. Right?
So I really developed the show there, figured out what it was, had wonderful times, wonderful guests, really developed Dave's Gone By. So it's the youth and toddlerhood of Dave's Gone By. And then I feel it really came into its own, like what we would call the middle period of being on UNC radio over in Colorado.
Oh, yeah.
That's when I came out on Saturday mornings,
Yeah.
not an hour and a half, but 3-4 hours.
That's when you increase the length of the show.
Yeah. I played all the music that I wanted to. I could do the Howard Stern thing. I could end the show when I felt it was time to end the show, not because the big hand was getting up to 59 on the hour. A lot of people come to the studio. We had that author who wrote about Mike Peters. You had your friends come in every New Year's, right? It was I mean, I had probably more guests and more famousy guests in person when I was in New York, because we're on Long Island and we had people come out. But
that's true.
In Colorado, I was like a console in a student radio station. We had a phone. We had.
David, is Spirit Airlines going out of business?
Yes, they are. Yes.
Whoa.
Yeah, that just came out.
Whoa.
So that was the middle period of, or what I would have considered the middle period. Then the latter period was discovering, hey, videoing the show and not just, hey, set up a video camera. It'll capture what is essentially a radio show, but with some images. And then figuring out, well, wait, there's a camera on. I can play to it. I can show things.
That was also the change in the view. But even when we were in Boulder, they were live streaming their shows. And stuff.
It was the beginning of the wheels turning.
Yeah, but it was. I think it was also a change where people went from audio to video, right? Like all the social media platforms were video.
And also during COVID, the click of, I can interview somebody, or Rabbi Sol can interview somebody, not just by telephone where there's a camera on me and then a telephone next to me, but Zoom. Zoom transformed the show as well in 2020. So at that point, it really became the third iteration. But I still don't think about it as old age. I really, at some point, see being back on radio. Still with a video, but yeah. If I find a terrestrial kind of radio station, another college station or something, I just feel that this is not the third act, but it's a fourth of 4. Wow. The way people used to write plays. Right? Oh, actually 5.
Do you think that terrestrial radio is going to come back? Like, do you think that's the trend of like?
I don't think it's going to come back. It's not going to completely go away. AM radio might go away, but radio itself will be around for a while, a long while, I think. But point is, or it might be satellite, whatever it is. I just have this feeling that I'm doing what I'm doing and I love it, but there's going to be one more next step, and it involves me going backwards to just treating this as radio and playing music again and being half DJ, half raconteur. And I do have a nice raconteur if you've ever seen me. But I don't know. And obviously, if I drop dead soon, this was the third act. And thank you for watching. So you just have to keep tuning in week after week, after week after week after week after week to find out where Dave's gone by, and Dave will be going over the next, maybe 5-10 years. Don't forget that when I started this program, I figured I would do 365, maybe 366 shows. Kind of like Art Paul Schlosser painting the paintings, right? One a day, every day. I thought, that'll be it. I'll do it. I'll have a great time with it. I'll do just enough so that when I'm on my long-term deathbed, when I'm not doing anything except lying in it because I can't go anywhere, I can't do it. I'm in a hospital, I'm in a assisted living or completely assisted living, a nursing home, and I've got nothing else to do all day. So I'm lying there, and I was like, what am I going to, I'm going to listen to an old show of mine. And I can listen to, because that's my narcissism.
But you will be listening to white noise.
Might as well. But every single day of a year, I could go back and listen to a different episode of mine, and 366 would do it, right? But then I went to past 365, 6, and I was like, I'm having too much fun. I'm going to keep this going. And now I can listen to 3 shows a day now when I'm dying for a year and still not quite get them all. So let's see what we got here. What is this? Oh. The Big Idaho Potato Tour is... I can't even. Here's Seaman Spuddy. And that's why I don't have children, because my semen is Spuddy. But there he is. Look how cute. Look how adorable. Because it is. We do have Potato with us.
Always.
Of course we have Potato with us. Good morning, Potato. I see he's dressed up for this episode of the show. Any particular reason you're wearing a bow tie? I thought these were undie pants. No, they're not under. Oh, Potato. Yeah. There's a reason there's a puddle on the floor in the bathroom. I guess. And in the hallway. Really in the hallway. And in the bedroom. Oh, Potato. Yeah, well, anyway, Potato's with us. And who else is with us? Pooey's with us, of course. Hello, Pooey. And my darling and adorable wife. And all of you here watching this 1030th episode of the Dave's Gone By show. So we mentioned that Richard Caliban is going to be our guest, talking to the one, the only, the Jewish Rabbi Sol Solomon. We also have on this program, of course, our Colorado Limerick of the Damned, where, because we lived in Colorado for over a decade, I took it into my brain head to write many poems about all different places in Colorado, making sure to use the name of the place repeatedly in the poem. It's a limerick, so you have to rhyme it 3 times, or have the name and rhyme it twice, technically, and create a limerick about it. So I started doing this years ago when we were still in Colorado, and I'm still doing 1 a week, every week, creating new ones. So this week we go to College West Estates. College West Estates for a filthy, dirty, awful, naughty, nasty limerick that we call the Colorado Limerick of the Damned. Plus, speaking of Colorado, we do have Greeley Times. This is based on a column that is done in the Greeley Tribune newspaper, a real newspaper out there in northern Colorado, where just about every week they take the blotter, the police blotter of phone calls coming into the dispatcher. And sometimes they're very serious. There's a robbery occurring, there's a car on fire, there's this and that. But also, people just call the cops when they see something kind of weird in the neighborhood.
Well,
Weird is a. That's the point. And the weirdest, most ridiculous requests and phone calls that come into the police department, the Greeley Tribune puts in a column called Cop Log, and we share with you. We take the best of the best and give them to you in our segment called Greeley Times. So we've got a Greeley Times, we've got our Colorado Limerick. We'll also be doing Storytime, ladies and gentlemen. Storytime I don't know if this is going to be worth reading. If it isn't, we'll stop. But why not? Again, why not? This is our 1030th show. I'm desperate for material. Let's read from Tales from Maple Ridge, very specifically, Logan Pryce Makes a Mess. Yes, he's about the age when children start making messes and want to do their own laundry. But if you notice, he's not only kicking over a pail of milk, he's stepping on the throat of a chicken, which is, I don't know where this book is going. We're going to find out by reading Tales from Maple Ridge, Logan Pryce Makes a Mess on Storytime on Dave's Gone By. And then what else are we going to do? I think those three are the big things that we will share with you on this particular episode of the program. So, things to talk about before we get to Greeley Times and all the other stuff. Well, we did go to a yard sale last weekend. You know I love my yard sales.
You have your toys?
I have my toys.
Oh, gosh. Oh, dear Lord. You going to read the book from there?
Well, no. I'm saving those. But I'm going to share them. So I go to thrift store or thrift sales, yard sales, garage sales. Nobody calls it a garage sale anymore. It's now a yard sale.
Well, it's trying to make more money, right? Or like a yard sale.
It sounds higher
or
class.
Estate sale, yeah.
Well, estate means you get to go in the house, which is my favorite.
That's how we got Squirrel.
Yeah, we talked about squirrel last week. But
we can't bring him in the house because of his evil.
So I'm always looking for, because we're not looking to buy furniture, we're not looking to get someone else's headache. But sometimes we'll see something cute or funny or ridiculous, and I make a beeline right towards this. And I'm not going to go over a lot of this because I talked about it last week, about Bumbo the Clown that I got, and my wife mentioned Squirrel that's in the backseat of our car. But I'll go just to see, is there anything kooky, crazy, weird? I used to go back in the day looking for CDs or albums to play. Those are years gone. There's no point. I don't really want to buy any more books because we're trying to live fairly, clutter-free in our home here in Maryland. But still, something will catch the eye, and if I get a sweet deal or almost a steal on something, I'll be like, yes, I need this. Well, among the things that were in the yes, I need this pile from last week, a couple of things. First of all, not one, but two books.
Oh, no.
I saw the title. I was like, there's probably nothing really funny about this book except the title, and yet, here we go. Dave's book collection, A Place Called Smoke Hole. Smoky, I don't know, it would be less whatever if it was Smoky Hole. And you can tell that this is a self-published volume because there's no publisher.
There's nobody will publish it.
It's by D. Barden Shreve. Oh, and with contributions by Estill C. Shreve. It sounds like a chemical compound, doesn't it? Estill C. Shreve.
Oh, I think you had that once.
Oh, yes.
Is that the cure or is that the disease?
I'm actually seeing my GP in a couple of weeks. I've got to ask him about my Estill Shreve.
Yes.
And it's all about this place, and I think it's West Virginia, because where else could it possibly be? I started reading it. It's a very normal book, just about this really, I don't want to say backward, but it's intended to be reflections on life as I knew it in Smoke Hole, West Virginia. Some of the stories have probably been exaggerated over the years. I've changed names when I felt appropriate to do so. You have names like Estill and Loy volunteered to catch the lambs and hand them over the fence. And I was assigned to hold the lambs while my dad did the operating. Oh. My father mixed up some disinfectant in a large bucket and made sure his knife, a hawk bill, was sharp by wetting it a few times on his whetstone.
StoryTime. Don't read it.
I know. I may at some point read A Place Called Smoke Hole. Let's just randomly find another. This is a story about Bill and Bess. Just the names, right? About tree cutting. Because we're going back. We're going back. In time there is. Cal came by our house on a Saturday and asked my uncle if he had any good liquor. and said that if he did, he'd like a little drink.
Oh, yeah.
My uncle took him to the building where he had stored his keg o' moonshine.
Boy, I
Yeah.
think McDonald's has that now.
So, I mean, if this did not have the title Smoke Hole, or a place called Smoke Hole, you would just, it would be like one of those old-time Americana books that you see in Barnes & Noble, or you'd see even in your local Walgreens, where they have, here's the history of your town, and pictures. And so, but the fact that Smoke Hole, West Virginia, and I was debating whether to get this book.
What?
No matter, because I knew it would be $1, right? I was debating whether to plunk down my hard-earned money for this rather nice, I mean, I've got to say, for a self-published book, beautiful type, it's really well put together. And then I saw right next, oh, by the way, the original price on this, $12.95, marked down to $12.50. Ladies and gentlemen, so popular was this book,
Yes.
or so bored were the authors,
Yes.
that they then followed up with more. Look how I spit. That's my drool on the cover of that. More about Smoke Hole.
I think a lot of people think, like, I once had a friend and he's like, everybody thinks they could write a book about their life.
Well, they did. They wrote 2 books.
I know, but,
Although, and this is from the back cover. Although Shook was a practicing alcoholic, he was an honest and caring person. Salem was a man of many talents. Doctor, ventriloquist, magician.
here's your appendix. Boop.
Did he also have supernatural powers?
Ooh,
Oh, you would like this. A grisly murder occurred in these peaceful mountains. I mean, also, Ned Beatty was raped there. And questions still remain as to Hacker's part in it. So I do believe, again, I think these are true stories, even a murder thing. Oh my God.
The second one seems like a mystery.
Well, check this out. Check out. No wonder I bought this book. This is the sequel.
I can't read it.
Winter in Smoke Hole starts on page 91. Look at the first
I
chapter.
can't read it.
Potatoes.
It might not be a good, David.
I wonder.
I don't think you should read that today.
Oh, let's take a look. Oh, this is someone named Clegus. My mom, Clegus, Loy, Estill, and I picked the potatoes from the furrows and placed them into buckets, which were then emptied into burlap sacks. By the end of the day, we had 50 bushels of potatoes. Best book ever. I know, potato, I know. Later that evening, our 2 horses, Old Prince and Old Dan, harnessed and hitched to a homemade sled, hauled the potatoes into our grain house, to be left there for a few days so that the wet dirt on them would dry. Oh my God. Oh, they're going to plant them.
Oh, boy.
Oh, this is such a wonderful book. Yeah, okay. Again, the books themselves, not so hilarious. We probably won't be reading them on StoryTime, but I don't know if these are available on Amazon or anywhere. But yes, ladies and gentlemen, at some point people wrote a place called Smoke Hole, followed by more about Smoke Hole. I have no idea whether there was a 3rd book in the trilogy, because we didn't get to the garage sale, the yard sale, until quite late in the day.
Yeah.
So for all I know,
Oh, you think it might be a series? You should ask
people
the
could have
owner.
gotten volumes
You
3,
could
4,
ask
5.
the owner and say, like, is this,
Return to Smoke Hole.
here, let me see.
Smoke Hole
Let me-
1977.
Show me the cover of the first book. Okay. Book, A Place Called Smoke Hole by Shreve.
See if there's anything about it. Because it has, I think, an ISBN. I think it does. So somewhere the Library of... Yeah.
Whoa, honey.
Yes?
Look at the price. You could resell this and make some money. Is it a new quality?
Yeah, it's perfect quality.
Okay, then scroll down, see the price.
Someone gave it 4 stars. We're rich!
It's better than the squirrel.
Buy you $250. I think it's the Shreve family trying to make some... why? How? There's a used copy in good condition for $80. I'm putting these on Amazon.
I'm telling you, David.
Oh my God! Let me see if there's reviews of this.
I was looking down to see. Sometimes they say you will also like.
Someone said expensive, but they are scarce. And I got the last. They're scarce because I bought them up.
Can I have? I want to see.
Yeah.
I thought the possessed squirrel would be worth more, but.
Oh my God! Wow!
Let's see.
What a haul!
How can I find more like? I'm gonna click on him. D. Brandon Shreve.
He wrote more books?
No, it's just.
Oh, the two smoke holes. There's the other smoke hole.
It's West Virginia.
Yeah.
And the other one.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wait, there's one. A sheriff from Smoke Hole. So some of these are not by the same person. So
Oh, really?
Yeah, but that one. I mean, the other ones I didn't show you, but those 3 in a row are.
Sheriff from Smoke Hole.
But see how much the red one's worth. We know the blue one we can get for $80. Wow. How much is the red one worth?
The red one, the more about Smoke Hole. You can have a copy from Amazon for $142.
Oh, David, maybe you have some kind of innate thrifting ability. Maybe it's from your grandma Lucy. You got the thrifting gene.
Well, now I feel really stupid because at the yard sale, this guy had.
What about the doctor book? There's a doctor. No, your phone.
Oh, yeah. What doctor book?
It's a book. It says like the doctor from Smoke Hole. Oh, where is it?
Oh, the sheriff from Smoke Hole and Other Stories. What?
You got rid of it.
Well, yeah, I thought you were looking something else up. No, but what was I going to say? Oh, at this yard sale, and I was so tempted, but again, I'm trying to non-clutter.
Oh, you're cluttered as heck.
But they had a copy of Newsweek from the Memorial Week after Bobby Kennedy was shot.
Oh, wow.
And it's like big Bobby Kennedy
that
on the cover.
Worth a lot too,
yeah, I should have grabbed it.
You should have grabbed it.
But then it's sort of like, okay, now I'm collecting again. And I've got this and I've got this again.
You're going to sell Smoke Hole, right?
I would Smoke Hole. I could part with Smoke Hole. Remember, that's what they're charging for these books. Doesn't mean that's what people are buying.
You never know.
And if they have like last one sold for $375, somebody wants a Smoke Hole book, I got them. Place your bids. Yeah. No reasonable offer over $120 refused. So a piece. Just saying. And now here's something though that was a calculated move, but is also really ridiculous. So growing up, I loved comic books, but I read Archie comics and Mad Magazine because I'm a nerdy little Jew.
Okay.
I was not into Superman, Batman, any of the Marvel Universe, Marvel, anything. Wasn't my thing. Couldn't get into it. Didn't even like the Batman TV series. But Archie, I don't know why I liked Archie. I really don't know what I saw in Archie. But yeah, it was my entry into pop art, comic book, whatever. And Mad, I understand completely what I saw in it. Mad was wisecracking, smart-ass comedy. Sure, I get it. I got it. I loved it. And wish I still had all those Mad magazines to sell. But didn't get the whole Marvel thing. Never bought one superhero comic. Not my deal. So it wasn't a big thing for me when I go to this yard sale and I see that they have a couple of comic books in a paper bag. But when I saw the cover of it, I'm like, are you kidding me? Apparently they're not. Apparently this is absolutely real. This is a true thing, and I will guarantee you that, if I do pass away, wait a few years and sell this. It's a Marvel comic book with Obama on the cover.
Let me see what it's worth. What is it? Okay.
It's The Amazing Spider-Man with Barack Obama.
A comic book, The Amazing Spider-Man, featuring Barack Obama.
Why?
Oh, it's $19. I have $4 on eBay. Somebody's selling a whole set for $170.
What whole set?
There's a whole set of
presidents or
no, of him.
Of Obama and Marvel.
Yes.
Okay.
Is this the one you have?
That's the one.
Okay.
This is the one.
Careful.
Yeah.
How much is
it's?
I saw it for $19 somewhere.
Well, I paid $1.
Yeah.
So, I can definitely make a little gashish with this. Let's see, hold on. The Amazing Spider-Man. 14 plus $4 shipping.
Oh, okay.
So it's almost $15 here.
14 plus $4 shipping is 18.
It's actually $14.99 plus well, $4.09 shipping. So yeah, it's $19. Where are we? Barack Obama, amazing. Can we please get to the reviews? Great collector's item. Aha.
Yes.
I was very happy with my purchase of The Amazing Spider-Man number 583. We've done 1,030 shows. They've only done 500 Spider-Mans.
Stanley died,
Yeah, I know.
It's hard to,
He was alive, though, when this would have come out.
I don't know.
This is the second printing. Oh.
What does it say? But do they like it?
Well, it says, it was very cute. A cute story of Spider-Man and our 44th president, Mr. Barack Obama. Mm-hmm. All right, fine. Nice. Great novelty item with novelty spelled wrong. 1 star, don't buy from them. I never received anything, awaiting my money back.
What?
That's me and Expedia. Let's see. Barack's got Spidey's back.
Oh, wow.
3 stars.
That's nice. I'm happy that Barack Obama's helping Spider-Man.
Before the New York-based chicken shacks, tons of businesses tried to cash in on the Obama-Rama craze, sweeping the nation. Marvel released a special cover variant. I wonder if this wasn't their regular.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, and Peter Parker still has more trouble with women than Elliot Spitzer. There's a name out of the past. While the bonus story isn't something to write about, the main story deals more with Pete's personal relationships. A little cliche, but I liked it. It seemed like a hostess comic book. I liked the storyline, even though it was a little cliche, and let's be honest, the character really didn't look like Barack Obama that much. Let's take a look inside here, shall we? We shall.
Yeah. Can I have your phone, sweetie?
Yeah. Here we go. So let's just, here's the Amazing Spider-Man with Barack Obama. As these things go. Now you tell me. I mean, I know they want to make him look, but this is, no. Nothing about him looks like Obama at all.
There's a bunch, you see.
Oh my God.
One with him in front of Lincoln. There's all sorts of.
He looks like Joe Frazier over here. I mean, he's a comic book artist.
I don't think you can do the exact image of somebody, right?
Well, yeah, but they're calling him Mr. Obama. It's not like a character based on the president. He's Obama. Look at this is him getting mad.
I'm going to ask and say, what did Barack Obama think of the comic?
This is him dealing with Biden and Hillary there, right
what
there.
What did Barack Obama think about the Spider-Man comic of Barack Obama?
And yes.
Oh, he was pleased. He loves Spider-Man.
Oh.
So here's the, like they have this thing like.
Because you know it's a great comic when you have Spider-Man fist bumping the President of the United States.
This is why.
His favorite superheroes are Spider-Man and Conan the Barbarian.
So that's why he got in Spider-Man. See?
Oh, so it probably, and they heard about it and they just saying, I'm sure comic book artists are going to be on the left wing side of things for the most part, so they're going to want to, they're not going to put Donald Trump, the current Donald Trump, on the cover of Spider. Maybe back when he was shilling for WWE, they would have. It would have been fun back in the day if they had Lyndon Johnson on a Marvel Comics cover. It's like, I want a great society. Well, you can't have a great society with the evil Dr. Octothorpe. And then they both battle it together, and LBJ takes Spider-Man to the White House, and Spider-Man leaves a little bit of webbing up in a corner by a painting of Dolly Madison that will be there as long as the White House stays, or until until the Trump administration knocks it down and redoes it to make a golden ballroom. But anywho, yes. So I've got quite a haul here, like a $20 comic book, and of course, hundreds of dollars for my smoke hole books. But these are not perhaps the prizes of my I keep calling it thrift storing, my yard sailing last weekend. Perhaps the most glorious thing of all is, and I do wish I still had
I was gonna look up
a phonograph.
I don't remember what it was.
Here it is. They didn't do this very, very often. My parents had a couple of these kinds of things, but here's a record album, or not even. It's more than a 45. It's an extended play 45 with not 2, but 4 songs on it. Because I guess we're experimenting at that point with formatting and longer play and so forth. So this is a Columbia extended play, number B1908, featuring the holiday music, Star Bright, The Beauty of Holiness, Ave Maria, and Gesù Bambino, little baby Jesus, played, well, when I think of the holidays, and of course, Christmas is not my holiday at all, but sometimes I appreciate Christmas music and the Christmas holiday, and I never appreciate it more than when I spend Christmas at Liberace's.
Well, didn't we see his house in Las Vegas with the?
We saw his cars. We saw his
I
whole.
thought we went to his house with the invasion.
His museum. There was a museum. I don't know if that was an actual
it was a
house.
museum,
Yeah, but here's Libby, beautiful Liberace with. I just love the beard on this guy. It's so obvious. It's maybe even bother to put a mouth hole for him. It's just like, let's take tufts of cotton, throw it on this man's face, and leave a little bit of eye hole and one nose cone for him.
A nose cone.
Look at him.
I think that is Liberace Santa.
You think it's kind of a doppelganger? I'm guessing this was a TV holiday special where they took this photo with Libby standing next to Liberace. Oh my God. I didn't even read the back of this.
Oh, okay.
This is, by the way, it's a Columbia record, CBS recordings, with the liner notes by Mother Frances Liberace. Liberace's mom wrote the liner notes.
Are they there? Can you read them?
Well, there's rather a lot of it, but Christmas has always been the most important holiday in our family, even when my children were just youngsters, as children would be. Well, no, I guess she means that they look forward to this holiday and plan for the celebration all year long. Other holidays just seemed like rehearsals for the big day that was coming. I can remember when they used to make their own Christmas cards and gifts and save up their small allowances so they could buy some extra delicacy for the holiday dinner table. And my son, he would buy pantyhose, and I would catch him in the...
What?
No. And how they would surprise their relatives and friends with a different little musical play each year. They would sing and dance and enact little Christmas scenes, and everyone would join in a big community sing for a finale. Sometimes they even wore costumes, like the time they gave their interpretation of the nativity scene. Lee, as we called Liberace, was always the producer, and he would search the attic for props and use some old faded draperies with which to drape his sister Angelina as Mary.
Oh, wow.
George and Lee would transform themselves into shepherds.
George is the father or husband?
I can't, unless they're brothers, or George might be her husband, I'm not sure.
Okay.
Well, her husband would have been Santa, so it's probably
yeah.
the kid George. George and Lee would transform themselves into shepherds, dressed in togas, made of bed sheets, tied around them with clothesline. Even Rudy, the youngest son, then a baby, got into the act as the Christ child. To them, it was real sincere drama, but I am sure even God smiled down at their portrayal of this holy scene.
She's got a nice little jam.
Yeah, she's a nice little writer, too,
She
you know?
really wrote it, or somebody wrote it for her and said, like, oh, that's Mama Liberace.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, like,
It's ghostwritten by the ghost of Mother Frances Liberace. So Star Bright is a Brahms melody. The Beauty of Holiness, I guess he's playing against a poem, not a song. Ave Maria, of course, is Schubert and Charles Gounod. And then Gesù Bambino is based on the old Italian style. In the Liberace piano setting, it once more quickens the spirit to the meaning of Christmas. Can you find this?
Christmas, I'm going to try,
What year was it? It's got to be 1950s, but I'm not sure roughly when.
Record Christmas at Liberace's. There you go. Well, this doesn't look like that.
Oh, good God. Well, remember, I should mention, this is volume 3. So make sure you play in volume 3.
You might want to...
Columbia, Christmas at Liberace's, yeah.
Christmas at Liberace's, volume 3.
Let's see. A 7-inch, and it's 45 RPM. It's not. They're not using 33 at this point. Vinyl, right? Well, duh. 19. Is distinct from his other full-length albums, Christmas at Liberace albums from 1954. So it would have been early mid 50s. It's not showing Discogs. Let's see Discogs.
You look more?
Genre classical. I'm just trying to get the year.
The first one, okay. The first one was 54, volume 1.
But from the look of it, the feel of it, and everything else, I'm guessing 54, 55. So there you go. Whether this is worth the dollar I paid for it.
What is the date of publication for Christmas at Liberace's volume 3?
The tension is unbearable, but I'm bearing it.
Probably 1954.
All right, well, yeah, most likely. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. One of the jewels of my crown.
It's part of a larger Christmas release of all those individual ones, I guess one by one, right?
So cool. So maybe you put out an album, but if you don't want the album,
bit by bit.
you can do 4 songs on this, 4 songs on the others.
It says Columbia.
Yeah, well, yeah, this is the biggest record label really in history. I mean, Columbia, CBS, or whatever the hell they're called now, probably still, or Universal. Well, I don't even know who owns what anymore. But, ladies and gentlemen, I own Christmas at Liberace's, Barack Obama with Spider-Man, and of course, not one but 2 books about smoke hole. That is why I go to yard sales. I should have gotten so much. They had so many things I should have poked through and looked around, and old newspapers.
You got there late. It ended at like 12, and it was the community yard sale raining, and you got there at like 1.
Yeah. So God knows what I missed in that one.
You might have missed.
That is one of the ones that you look for that you're like, because all the others are like, children's clothes. Oh, some old crockery. Thank you. Oh, coffee mugs that you've used for 20 years and aren't chipped, so you're selling them. It's like, what the, no. But this. This is, the treasure, the trove, if you will. Anyway. What else before we get to Greeley Times?
My phone, so we did stuff.
Yeah, we did stuff. Honestly, we watched 2 different stand-up comedy specials on Netflix.
I'm still not done with one.
Yeah, one we did watch was Trevor Noah, and he's all these years he's been doing the Daily Show, which I haven't watched because I don't get cable and whatever. But he's very good. He really is quite the stand-up, and it's great that he's gone back to it. He's got great timing, very funny, and he's sharply satirical.
What was the controversy?
About Trevor Noah?
That was him and Trump, remember?
Yeah, well, Trump, he said something at the Grammys, because he was hosting one of the award ceremonies, I think it was the Grammys, and he made a joke, and he went instantly onto Trump's shit list. I mean, directly, like Trump on Truth Social, targeting him, which is kind of scary.
Oh, yeah.
When it's the president.
Was he being sued?
Oh, is suing? Yes, that's right. He was going to sue.
I'm trying to remember
for libel or sue for something. And he goes after Trump, but in, if you watch this show, you know that I don't love Trump, but I don't hate him the way everybody else does, and that I think he's doing some good things and some bad things. I'm not, so many of the people that I know on Facebook and are so far left now, I'm here. And depending on the issue, I can be here. But he goes after Trump in an intelligent way of someone who is literally kind of scared of what the president and all the legal machinery of the White House and of America can do to a person, even if they're rich and famous, right? And so that whole segment is really, really strong and really great. And then he's got to be like so many of these comedians now, where for about 10 minutes, he goes on a lecture that isn't really funny at all, just about, I was like, everybody's so upset and so fraught, and they tell me, how can you do comedy now? And he's like, well, because you have to find the joy. You have to, this is the time that, and he's not even throwing jokes in, he's just lecturing fairly dryly, telling us what any comedian knows. It's like, the time for comedy is when they are marching you to the gas chamber, because life is, as Bob Dylan said, just to put a joke, right? Get off it, man. If you're making us laugh, and you're making us laugh about the very things that we're scared about, yeah, that's what you're there for. If I want to go to philosophy class, I'll do that. If I want to go stand-up comedy, I'll see. And then he rounds the show because he knows, I think, at that point, that the audience is politely and that, yes, comedy's good, comedy good. And then he rounds off with filthy material about women's orgasms, where he goes into Sandy Barron, stuff Sandy Barron was doing like 50 years ago on albums. And it's okay, and it's pretty funny stuff. It's not bad, but it starts a lot stronger.
His own material,
oh yeah.
Or they have writers.
No, I think Trevor Noah and comics like that, like Louis C.K., they do their own.
I wondered about it. Yeah.
A lot of comedians didn't. A lot of the others had some of their own, and some of them had writers. Certainly Henny Youngman. Not Henny. Henny probably wrote his. Henny invented the form, but Joan and who's the guy from Rodney Dangerfield?
Oh yeah.
I mean, Jackie Martling used to write for Rodney Dangerfield.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So a lot of those comedians, they do. They absolutely buy material, pay for material. Fine. So, but I don't think Noah does. I think he's out there, creating his own, maybe as an editor or a co-writer or something like that. So I would say watch the first 40 minutes, if you have Netflix, of the Noah show. And, I think you will enjoy it quite a lot. He's very good. We also watched we haven't finished it yet, this guy I haven't heard of named Ari Shaffir. And I'm a little shocked that they put this on Netflix because, back when Rabbi Sol and I were doing Shalom Damn It, I was like, it's niche, it's too Jewish, you have too many Jewish words, it's like you'll offend the Goyim, you'll offend the Jews. Watch a show on Netflix, a stand-up special by this Ari Shaffir guy. The title of the special is Jew. That's it, in Jewish-looking letters, Jew. And it's so much more offensive than Shalom Damn It ever was, in sexual ways, in language ways. Now, granted, we're talking about a 15-year gap between when Shalom Damn It was done and when Ari Shaffir is doing his thing. But, I'm sitting there like Rabbi Sol wouldn't have gone there. Rabbi Sol didn't say that. And he's being sometimes very specific in Jewish terminology without, about Talmudic things and stuff that I don't even remember from Hebrew school. And it's very often he's very funny. He talks kind of fast and mumbles a bit. So with my, half-deaf ear and my tinnitus, a lot of times I'm like, kind of missed that. But he's good. And he is going places, especially in this current wave of, delightful Jewishness on the planet, and not being afraid of any kind of anti-Semitism or Jew hatred or violence against Jews. It's just been a wonderful time, hasn't it? Of him going out there and being that and doing that, more power to him. And his best stuff really lands. When he gets there, he's funny, and he's very smart, and as a Jew would be.
Well, you've not seen the end of it.
No, I hope he finishes strong. So he has other specials on Netflix that I have not seen.
The comedy specials, they feel very long to me, like an hour.
Well,
I
most
mean, they feel like they're a little too long.
headliners and comedy sets
Yeah.
generally do about 70 to 75 minutes, which is
Is that okay? Normal. Okay.
that is the
'Cause
normal.
It seems long to me. Like I'm like, there's a point where I'm like, it's funny, and now I'm like, it's just extra. Like it's too much. Like,
Because
snip,
it's
snip,
tough.
snip,
You have a headline.
snip, 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 and they can edit because they have when they're filming it, they can edit.
They are. If you're watching a stand-up comedy special
Yeah.
on Netflix or HBO or
I
wherever,
think it's multiple times, and they're
they've probably done 2 or 3 full shows and wearing the same outfit.
And they're probably doing the laughing and stuff, putting that in.
Yeah, they're intercutting. They're cutting from the one that he did the night before to the one that he did the next night, or the 2 on the same night, seamlessly, so you can't tell that it's not the same exact perform. It's the same show, but different performance that night. Also, for all we know, he did 90 minutes, so that they are cutting down.
Seems long,
yeah. Well, and it's tough. It is a comedian knows that even if you're doing 70 minutes, which is the length of the first act of a full-length play, right? Or even first act of a musical. Generally, if you start at 8:05, musical will probably be about 80 minutes after that for the first act, and then 55 for the second, something like that. But a comedian knows it's like you can't peak. It doesn't work when you have that. If you have a 12-minute set, you can just go boom, 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 boom,
Yeah, but
boom.
75,
But if you're doing 70 minutes, you're gonna go like, whoa, incredible laughter for 10 minutes, and then crest, peak, and then there's gonna be that, like Trevor Noah does, like, I'm not gonna be getting laughs at this point in the show anyway. Let me be more serious.
Like actors and all these singers and comedians, how do they have the stamina to perform like that for so long?
Well, look at Rabbi Sol. When he did Shalom David, it was...
Isn't he on cocaine? What does he do?
That's a misnomer about Rabbi Sol Solomon. Yes. He does not sniff cocaine. What he does is, and he gets this all at one time of the year.
Is that Sudafed?
No. He gets the Strites usually Strites, the Passover yellow cake mix.
Yes.
He tears it open. He does a line. He does another line.
I thought it was horseradish.
That's if he needs that extra kick. Yeah. So if you see him, like, if he does too much of it and he starts to bleed from his sinus, that's just borscht.
I thought he was diabetic. He couldn't do that stuff.
Rabbi Sol was never diabetic.
Oh, wow.
He's dyspeptic.
Oh.
and his personality is ulcerous. But yeah, no, that was one of the issues that Rabbi Sol had when he was trying to create Shalom Dam and then cut it down to a one-act show. Was like, even at 75 to 80 minutes, you can't. It's like that's a long time for especially modern day audiences to kind of keep going and laugh.
5 minutes on TikTok.
Yeah. So you've got to have these peaks and valleys, and you run through the valley because otherwise your audience is exhausted. No one can keep laughing hard from point A to point Z for that amount of time. Your first 15 minutes are going to be golden, and then you try and maintain some sort of peaks and valleys, and you try to finish strong, which is why Trevor Noah finished with cum jokes essentially, and a lot of and they try and just land on a big punchline and go. But I get it. It's a very difficult format. Right. If you are a midline comedian and you just have 15 minutes.
They're editing, so you know that no matter what you do, you can always fix it, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's different than somebody who's out there live.
Well, we all grew up on record. Well, people who listen to comedy, we grew up on comedy record albums. We got the George Carlin albums. We got the Richard Pryor, the Joan Rivers album, the Bill Dana. And record albums were 40 minutes long. And you had a break between sides. So you would hear 15 to 20 minutes.
But even then, they could edit them.
They were.
I mean,
They'd be like songs almost. A 4-minute segment about dirty words, a 6-minute segment about Irish Catholic guilt, a 2-minute segment about farts, a 7-minute segment about what's in your fridge. Well, me, it would be. No, but that's how we learn to digest our comedy, not in hour-long salvos, because it's difficult, When I saw Sam Kinison and I think he was at what they used to call Westbury Music Fair. It's now Westbury something. And we went to see Sam Kinison, who was already starting to like do too many, try and live a little too high on the hog, but very energetic. And, you know, open the store because we loved it. It's Sam, you know, and got us and got some great laughs. And then kind of the middle, coasting a little bit, doing some obviously offensive stuff that wasn't so hilarious, blah, blah, blah. But he saved what he knew was his boffo finish of calling getting a guy out of the audience.
Yeah, really?
Seemingly, right, you know, calling literally a fellow from the audience and saying, okay, what happened? Oh, this girl broke up with me and you know, I miss her, she's my ex, and da-da-da. And he said, well, let's call her. Let's get her on the phone and call her. And he just basically, he gets the girl on the phone and just starts saying, you whore, you fucking bitch. It's like, bam. And that was the show because everybody just erupted. Any guy who's ever been rejected, any guy who's ever, you know, had issues with women, just at that moment exploded with like relief. It's like, yes! And then, end of show. If Kinison had stopped in the middle, we would have been like, well, you know, he's all right. This is not his best. If you want to see his best, go watch his HBO show, or a short bit on the Dangerfield show. But he knew that you can go here, play around a little bit, you know, not lose them entirely, and strong. And it's the, you know, it's why Carlin would end on 7 dirty words. It's why, not sure what Pryor would end on. I'm not the biggest Pryor fan, but you know, you try and leave them laughing, you know. But it is difficult as a stand-up comedian to leave them wanting more, because 75 minutes is a lot, you know. And if you do less, then your audience is like, wait a minute, we paid $60 to get in here. He did less than an hour. You know, I didn't pay to see 3 newbie.
Are there headliners before the show?
Well, they're not headliners. That's the thing. The headliner's the headliner.
Yeah.
But they usually get a new comedian to go out and do like 5-10 minutes, a midline comedian to do another 10-15, and then boom. So they want to get somebody who's not as good as the headliner and doesn't have that fame and instant audience connection, because you don't want the previous guy to overshadow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you don't want them to be better. You wouldn't want Alice Cooper opening for a midline band, because Alice Cooper would have all this flash and dazzle, and then a band comes out, the main band, and they're saying, well, wait, where's the smoke? Where's the explosions? Where's the nightmare? So, but I do remember when I saw, you reminded me, when I saw Kinison at Westbury, his opener was funnier. His opener was a guy named Carl LeBove, and they were good friends, and LeBove killed it. He did about 15 minutes, hysterical. And Kinison was just not as, funny in such a concentrated period of time. But that's the risk you take. But okay, it's part of the thing of the game, because eventually some of those comedians who are doing 5, 10, 15 minutes beforehand will become headliners with some of the same material, and now you're suddenly going like, oh, they really were great. So anywho, so I brought those up on Netflix that you can see. What else is there to talk about? What else did we do?
Pretty much what we did.
Yeah, I don't think there's a lot of pictures that either of us took.
I have my phone in the room. I go through your Facebook to see if anyone has questions.
Yeah, no, there's not. It was, as they say, a quietish week in Lake Wobegon.
We didn't go nowhere.
We didn't go anywhere. We're waiting for, not that we're going to frequent them often or anything, but it's getting a little irritating. We go shopping in a local store called Mom's that has. It's a gourmet-ish grocery store.
It's
organic.
It's not. I wouldn't say it's gourmet. It's organic.
Organic grocery store. There's a pet store on that block. There's also a just around the way. There's not a Robert Hall. What do you call it? It's there's a Kohl's, and then there's Old Navy on the thing, and then there's all these other stores. So it's got to be a year now that there's a storefront promising a Japanese restaurant with
There's two.
all-you-can-eat sushi. Yeah, right. And we pass it, and it's got this sign, all-you-can-eat sushi. And they put this up months ago.
Well, that's to, get business going.
But you got to open the friggin' business to have it. And they're never doing any work in it. It's not like they're stringing lights or putting up. They have all these things and details seemingly in the store from what you can see. And then you're looking and it's like nothing's been done. I don't know if they're waiting for a liquor license.
I think a lot of times they have to pass inspections and I know it takes time.
Fair enough, but it's like, jeepers creep. It looked like they would have been opening this half a year ago. Because they had the sign up and they started doing this stuff and then...
I mean, they hope they open it for summer.
Me too. Because I see the word sushi, and if you put the words all you can eat next to the word
There's
sushi...
also pizza next to it.
That's what I was going to say. There's also, later than that, they put up a big sign that they're opening a pizza place in the same strip mall, if you will. And you will. And there's a Starbucks there too. So near the Starbucks, they have promised vetoes. And you and I were jonesing for pizza earlier in this week. And we're like, ha. And it keeps looking like, oh, they moved this and this is there and this is there. And they're going to open
They're interviewing, what do you call it, workers?
Yeah, right. They're looking for staff. Nothing. Week after week after. And they wonder why restaurants close after a year and can't make it. Because people are like, oh, restaurant coming. They got the signage up. And then
Yeah, but for a while there was nothing there, and then the Starbucks came there, and
Honeygrow came in. Yeah. They're trying to build that whole thing up a bit, and it's great. But in order to do that, you have to open the store. If you want to get people primed for sushi, maybe hold off on the signage. Grant, you want to build up anticipation, but not for a year. In that meantime, I found the other sushi place over in Hunt Valley, and I've been going there for the really, really good sushi. And when we want pizza, we have to go somewhere else or make it at home. So, I'm just, I don't know what I'm even saying about that. There's just this level of coming in every time, and we visit that strip mall 3 or 4 times a week. Almost every day, as a matter of fact, to do something, to get tea at Starbucks or to shop at Mom's or there's a Michael's there as well. And we're there. We're back and forth. And every single time I drive into the parking lot and we come out of the car and I'm like, sushi? Like, fuck no. Pizza place? Fuck no. They built a mega church just a block away from...
They took out old building. They refilled an empty warehouse building.
With a church.
They didn't build it. They're just...
Oh, no, they didn't build it up from the ground, right. But they convert... Well, these stores were stores that the sushi place is in, that the pizza place is in. They didn't turn it to rubble and build it. They did that for Honeygrow. The Honeygrow went from ground up.
Oh, that's true.
In a matter of a few months. It was nothing. It was rubble, and they built a Honeygrow. Meanwhile, they have stores that are sitting there waiting for sushi, waiting for pizza, because I, Dave, am always waiting for sushi or waiting for pizza. And they tease me. They destroy my soul.
Aww,
evening by evening as I walk through that parking lot, and I'm like, when? When? When, my friends? When? All right. I think that about covers it. Anything else before we get to Greeley Times?
Whatever you want.
I want Greeley Times because we have our guest coming up. It's Richard Caliban, the director, producer, creator of Cucaracha Theater out in New York back in the day, and now he's directing a show called Movies TV Mayhem at the Theater Row Theater over on West 42nd Street. It's running through May 9th. Rabbi Sol will be talking to him in just a little while. We'll have our Colorado Limerick of the Damned. We will have StoryTime, Maple Ridge, Logan Pryce makes a mess. We'll read a bit of that. Oh, yeah, lucky us. And this is, by the way, not like the Liberace thing. It's not volume 3. This is number 1. We're number 1. But before we get to all that, let's go to the lovely town of Greeley, Colorado, where my wife and I lived for a decade or so. And, it's like, oh yeah, there's a comical sign that you'll find as a meme. Greeley, the opposite of Hawaii. And it's really not. Greeley, if you understand that it's a dry climate and that there's more dirt than lawn there a lot of the time, you also look up at the sky and you realize you're in friggin' Colorado. And you realize that the Rocky Mountains are everywhere. And Greeley is actually pretty great. But one of the weird things about Greeley are the phone calls. Several of the weird things about Greeley are the phone calls that come into the police department. People saying, help, help. And here's why. Let me get the horn phone. I'll get on the horn. A woman said that a man came to her house asking about a couch that she was selling, but she wasn't selling anything. She asked the cops what to do. I would say, hey, quote $4,000 for whatever couch she has in the living room, and if they accept.
Sometimes people invert numbers, like.
Oh, maybe.
Like maybe it's like 1820 and they go to 2018,
Yeah, it's like, I offered $100 for this, and then he inverted the numbers to one.
Oh,
so, yeah,
that's a good.
I got it for $1. Yeah. Guess what, hon?
What?
It is time for make some noise. It's a chicken alert, my friend. Oh, yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a chicken alert because our next story has to do with roosters or chickens. Because a lot of the calls, not a lot, but a percentage of the calls that come into the police department in Greeley have to do with chickens. Because that's the kind of town Greeley, Colorado is. A woman, remember, this woman is calling the police. A woman reported a chicken outside her window.
Wow.
That's the whole story, by the way. There's no follow-up.
Was it being obstreperous?
No, maybe she thought it was a pet that got loose or something, and not even a rooster crowing that's annoying her. She calls the police to say, there's a chicken outside my window.
Wow.
Maybe she was afraid Colonel Sanders or the filet people were coming after it.
What was he doing?
I'll read the whole story again.
Chickens can't fly. So I don't know why she's saying it's outside. It hopped up her window.
Oh, well, you can look out a window. I can look out a window and see birds on our lawn,
So he has a right to be there.
No? Yeah, he probably does.
Yeah.
It's within a chicken's right. Maybe not to go into another country with the passport things that we have now. Oh, we have another poop phone. Hello. Wow. Someone wanted to know how to properly dispose of ammunition from the 1920s. Great sound effect. Thank you. That was perfect.
That's an appropriate question. That's the first question we've ever had on Greeley Times that's appropriate.
Come to think of it, you're right.
That's an appropriate question.
Yeah, it's like you should call a cop and I have a howitzer or I don't know,
that
a Mauser.
There's a chicken on my lawn, right?
Yeah. Well, I hope it's not the same person. Speaking of fowl, but not a chicken. Let me grab the goat phone. Yeah. A woman believed a bird was stuck between the walls or chimney of her apartment. She asked what she should do because apartment management was not answering.
Again.
Why call the, yeah. Well.
You go down to the maintenance part of your office of your home complex and you just say
Well, she said she's trying to get in touch with the management property owner, and they're not.
But what are the police going to do?
If I were the cops, if she thinks she has a bird stuck between the wall, you send a cat. You stuff a cat between the wall, and they'll take care of it right there. There you go. You've gotten so good with the sound effects, babe. Oh, another call. My goodness. Let me get the bow phone.
Let me give you a phone. I'll give you a phone.
Oh, my big phone. I forgot about that.
I'm not going to give you that. I'm going to give
you...
I was going to give you one.
Basically, any object will function as a phone for this segment. If you haven't noticed, we're doing Greeley Times, by the way, on this 1030th episode of the Dave's Gone By show, live Saturday, May 2nd, 2026. Oh boy!
There's your phones.
All right, here we go. I'll do the bagel phone because it'll give me the whole story. And they'll tell me everything in a salty way. What? Are you my mommy? No, he's my poppy. All right. Where are we? A caller said that raccoons in the neighborhood were making a lot of noise and scaring cats. So this is interesting. Most people have a stray cat problem. And raccoons are not nice. Raccoons will scare humans, they'll scare cats. They're you know. Now, speaking of cats, not Jellicle cats, or Cat's Deli, which is my... How did you make it do that? A caller who was in jail 2 years ago said someone sold his cat at the time. And he was recently told the person who bought the cat lives in Greeley. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if I want that person, like, you know, where's the person who...
No, but also the problem is, like a calico cat, they pretty much look the same.
Oh, yeah, right.
They're similar. Like you could, you know, there are a lot of cats that look similar.
People do get them chipped, though, so that's...
Oh, whoa, that's true. That's a good idea. Or they do, yeah.
Yeah, so... Well, I'm not, so he was in jail. Someone sold, I don't know how they're allowed to sell his cat, or if it's his, and then he said that he wants to find the new owner of the cat. Somebody who's been in jail for a while comes to your door.
No, he's calling the police. That's proactive. He's like, you know, I need help.
Someone showed up at my door and said, "Do you have my cat?" I would be the one calling the police. Yeah. Let me tell you. Oh, what? Elsewhere time? Elsewhere time means that these are stories that are not from Greeley.
You want your drum?
I couldn't find the old one. We have an unopened one. There it is. My drum. Oh, I usually get a bang out of this. What's nice is my jokes work on so many levels that they have symbolism. Thank you. Yeah. My comedy is not high level. It's base. So, we go elsewhere for this episode, for this Greeley Times. Elsewhere just means that these are stories not from Colorado at all, but from elsewhere in the universe. For example, for this story, as reported by UPI and Shepherd Express, it comes from Sebastian, Florida. Totally coincidental, it's about, well, ostensibly could be cats, but no. If you thought hairballs were annoying for cats, try hair ties.
Oh, you know, they're lethal. When I lived with someone who had cats, she said to me, like, I have these rubber bands.
Yeah.
And she said, you could leave your jewelry out. Like, they won't touch your jewelry, but they like the hair tie and they choke. And so I couldn't leave them. She was like, I always shut my door. I never, because...
if a cat eats one of those.
I thought the jewelry would be worse, but...
Well, it would be worse if a cat would eat it.
Yeah.
And so, but if a cat's not going to touch it, it's not going to be worse. You know, but yeah, a diamond goes down a cat's gullet, it's going to do some damage. But a cat is at least reasonably smart enough not to eat a diamond. However, a hairband, a hair tie. So the Halo No-Kill Rescue Shelter in Sebastian, Florida, rescued a cat from euthanasia at a different facility. This little pussy had blocked intestines, which surgery discovered came from eating 26
oh my God!
Hair ties. Yeah.
How did that cat live?
Well, it's like pasta. It's like,
No, I know, but I think because they have the smell of the owner, like, I know that that's what my roommate told me. Her name was Teresa. She was like, whatever you do, like, don't. And I was like, I would think jewelry, like, jewelry would be more, like, tactile, but something about the hair tie they like, Who knew, right?
Follicle ties for follicle cats.
That cat's a survivor because
26.
I mean, like even one they say is bad.
Really? Yeah, yeah.
I had to always put them in the drawer. I couldn't have anything out, and they were always like.
Well, didn't the woman you lived with for a while? She had a rabbit, and she couldn't. She was afraid to leave any plugs or.
No, he ate through. So she was a designer.
Yeah.
And she had this printer. So when you look on your computer screen, the color looks different than it prints, right? So if she's designing like beautiful like fabric-based stuff, and then she's giving it to this really high-end company, she has to know that when they produce it, it's going to look like it is. That printer was like super, super expensive. And the bunny ate through the cord of the printer. He ate through the cord of the phone. He ate through her sewing machine cord. Like, he just was on a, we don't know, he or she. He was on a rampage.
Yeah. Now, granted, I don't know if when a bunny does that, is it actually eating or is it just chewing?
I don't know. I think they like the taste
They
of it.
chew, but they don't actually have to eat
He
the
went
cord.
through our compost. He was like, he fought with another bunny. An exchange woman was studying here from Germany, and she had a bunny. Her kid. That's why we got a bunny, because her kid had a bunny. So then everybody wants a bunny, and then they thought it'd be a good idea to bring the bunnies together. And the bunnies are territorial, and they like. I went home and my roommate, her hand was all like in bad shape. And I said, what happened? And she said they introduced them and they almost killed each other. I was like, I could see that.
Yeah,
Put them in little harnesses and keep them away.
Oh,
but,
harnesses.
But like, they were just, it was not.
It was not
It was not cute.
I know you're enjoying watching. You've been tempted to get hamsters because you've been watching.
Oh, the golden. Let me see if I can find it.
Yeah, she'll show it.
No, I don't know if it's on your feed.
Facebook or TikTok or whatever. But there's
cute. I'm gonna see
these two adorable hamsters. I think it's AI though.
No, then it's not. Golden hamster eclipse.
They just, you watch them eat, and they're so cute, and it makes my wife want a hamster. And I'm like,
golden hamsters TikTok.
They're rodents. They bite.
My nibbles bit me, but I love him.
Yeah, well.
Oh, clingy. They don't have the two in the cups. They have them in cups.
If a hamster bites me, my shoe is coming down on his head.
Let's see. Golden hamster. Oh, golden hamsters eating in tiny glass cups in TikTok.
Are you sure you look at TikTok? Maybe it's Instagram or Facebook
No, it comes from TikTok, but I don't. Oh, it's like this one here. See, that's an
Yeah,
example.
this is a
one
picture
wearing
of
an
it.
outfit. He's eating a corn.
Yeah, it's very cute. They're very cute. They're hamsters dressed
My
as.
nibbles bit me, and I still kept them.
Well, all right. I mean, you know.
You don't have to pet them. You just keep them in their cage. Then.
That's true. Yeah, but what's the fun of a pet if you can't pet the pet?
They wear Crocs. They're just cute. They wear Crocs.
I'd rather have a crocodile that you dress as a hamster. That'd be as a croc wearing hamsters because it'd be nice and snug on their feet.
They're so cute.
So we have another elsewhere though. Let's do more of Greeley Times. Oh, where are we going now? We're going to Saginaw, Michigan.
Oh.
It took me 6 days to hitchhike to Saginaw. You know,
Oh yeah.
animal control officers
Uh-oh.
were called to a Michigan home
Oh no.
where, and this is one of the greatest constructions in history, ladies and gentlemen, animal control officers were called to a Michigan home. Wait, didn't we?
I don't remember.
I think we did this one last week, but
I might not
forgive me.
remember it, yeah.
Where a diaper-wearing monkey appeared on the porch and attempted to get in the house.
Oh.
Did we? No, I guess we didn't do
I
this.
think I remember, but I'm not
A
sure.
diaper-wearing monkey. The dispatch recording of the incident goes like this.
You gotta love him. I mean, he's wearing a diaper. He's respectful of property, right?
I think I did this one, but I'll do it again. It's like, caller has a monkey wearing a diaper that's on their porch trying to get inside the house. I guess it belongs to their neighbors. Officers arrived to find Brazil, the female spider monkey, had already been returned to its home next door.
So then why did they go there?
I must have gotten away. It was a cup of sugar.
It's a therapy monkey. That's so cute.
I
Get him- I don't know.
don't say therapy. It's just a monkey in a diaper.
How big was it?
Well, a spider monkey is not going to be a gorilla.
No, spider monkeys are tiny. Yeah.
Authorities confirmed that the animal was healthy and well treated. However, they also learned that Brazil's owner was the same woman who brought a squirrel monkey into the Bay County court in 2017.
You gotta love her.
And she was maybe on jury duty or something.
It's like that Tiger King. Maybe she's the spider monkey queen.
Well, when she went to the courthouse, she had the monkey inside her purse when she put it through the x-ray scanner.
Oh, well, I don't think that's good for the monkey.
No, it drove him ape.
I mean, you're absolutely right. And by the way, you have your drum set.
That's right. And by the way, and this is not a joke, in case you were wondering, Michigan has no laws prohibiting monkeys as pets.
So then that's not illegal.
No, I guess that's just crazy.
No, but it really should. They really should.
Yeah. I mean, monkeys are great as pets until they go bananas. What? We have another phone call?
Oh, sorry, I'm sorry.
From somewhere in the... I'm going to get the potato phone on this. This is from Los Angeles. On March 23rd, and reported by the New York Post, by the way, even though it's over on the other coast, a woman shopping at the Valencia Whole Foods was subjected to a man who exposed himself to her, which was an act caught on the store's security camera. I'm sure it happens all the time. In the footage, the suspect, holding a cell phone, approaches her as she kneels down. He lowers his pants and then presses his exposed genitals against her ear. So I guess this is a Polish molester. That's not where it goes. No. Still unidentified, the man in his mid-30s was dressed in denim and jeans.
Isn't denim jeans?
I guess he had a denim, like your coat, like your jacket that you wear.
It wasn't me.
And jeans. But no, apparently she did not have an eargasm. Ahem. I wonder if she heard the seashore.
That's just so weird.
Elsewhere, guess where we're going next for our next story?
This is what you took a picture of, isn't it?
What was that? It was probably by accident. Guess where we're going next?
You never did that.
Well, show me.
You never looked up your super gummy.
Oh, I've got to do that.
Talk about it?
Yeah, let's talk about that. I'll throw this in right now.
Let me search for it. Hold on.
Okay. By the way, just reminding you, it's 10:30, a little after 10:30 in the morning Eastern Time here in the Daverhood. You're watching the 1030th episode of the Dave's Gone By Show live on Saturday, May 2nd, 2026. We're calling it, we're calling it California because Richard Caliban.
But there's no visual matches for it.
Oh, no. Oh, really? Wow.
It just says, it's just a resealable bag.
Did you hear me burp just there?
It just says they're done in a resealable bag. Okay.
Well, we're going to talk about it? Or
I'm trying to get the picture back for you.
Yeah. So, we're shopping at either Home Goods or Marshall's or one of those places. And these kinds of things they don't bother anybody else, but they bother me. I see.
You can show them the first picture you've taken this week. It's like an art photo. I love it. It's like shopping. You took that.
Oh, those are your shoes. Those are your feet.
Those my feet?
You got it because you can see actually the feet in open shoes.
Are those feet mine? Let me see.
I can't tell.
Why don't you take it? Let me see.
Can you tell if those are your feet?
No.
Or somebody else wearing open-toed shoes?
David, I don't wear shoes. What woman? They're not my feet. They have diamonds on them. Some kind of glitter. You look at it's not my. Those are not my feet. Whose feet are you taking a picture of, you freak?
Well, here, I'm looking, but you're not. There's no diamond. That's the strap of your shoe.
It's not that color.
There's no diamond. Well, the pants are different.
Yes.
All right. Anyway, so here we got, and then I see this. And I'm kind of taking this for granted, but I'm thinking I know what it is, because I've been into axolotls for a couple of years now. I don't have any, but I love the idea of this ridiculous creature that's half fish, half reptile thing.
But you feed it meat and worms, I think.
Well, sure.
That's what I've read, yeah.
Yeah. So they, they're very cute. They're weird, but they're cute. And so I say, so they're selling this candy with an axolotl on the cover. How cute. But then I look at it, and I'm like, what the hell is this? why, if this is an axolotl, why does it have lobster claws? Because axolotls don't. They got these little flipper arm things. Also, axolotls don't have antennae. So I'm guessing this is a completely different creature, and I have no idea what the hell it is. And it's got, unfortunately, I didn't get the whole bottom of the bag on my thing. It's just got like almost a mermaid tail.
I think it's just gummies and they do different images, but I think it's just an artist's rendition. There's nothing on the internet that matches it.
Yeah, there's no creature, thank God, there's no creature in the world that actually is this.
And do you think that would entice children to eat gummies?
Hell no!
It would scare me, right?
Yeah, it's like insect meets lobster.
Oh, yeah. Meets now with the I don't think axolotls have. They don't have.
No, there's nothing like this. Is not an axolotl. I don't know what the hell it is.
Somebody maybe drew that. Maybe because the trend now we know is lobsters. Everything's lobsters, and
maybe
everything is like seashells and summer. Maybe.
But does the rest of him look like a lobster? No.
I don't know. Maybe they just recycled an old form. You know.
Bothersome.
Yeah.
Exceptionally bothersome.
Yeah, I agree.
So, So, guess where our next Elsewhere comes from?
Where? Oh.
Not too far from here. As reported by NPR, this is from Annapolis, Maryland.
What happened?
Honey, I didn't know. We live maybe half an hour, maybe an hour away from this. Hundreds of people swarm to Annapolis, Maryland each year for the Annapolis Oyster Roast and Sock Burning Festival. I repeat, the Oyster Roast and Sock Burning Festival, this year's event, which happened March 21st, it was just a month and a half ago, said goodbye to one of the coldest winters on Chesapeake Bay. Kelly Schwartout of the local Maritime Museum said that the event started in 1977 when, quote, a local sailor got so fed up with the cold weather, he took his socks off and burned them.
Why would you do that?
I don't know. Polish sailor. I don't know. Meanwhile, festival attendee Scott Laban said he brought a sock with a hole in it and also some, quote, Egyptian cotton socks that your mom got you because no one wears dress socks anymore.
Aww.
It's, quote, a good party. How did we miss the Oyster Roast and Sock Burning Festival, so close to us?
I know.
So, Potato Day, of course, we would never miss, but Oyster Roast and Sock Burning.
We can't celebrate everything. If we celebrated every single event that was on the Wegmans calendar, we would be celebrating.
But I trade Shavuos for this, you know?
Well, there's so many things to celebrate, right?
I know. Can we burn socks for a different holiday?
We could take them and stuff pillows with them.
We could.
Yeah.
Do people do that with socks?
You could put them on your hands and make...
the puppet thing. I've done that. I like that. I do like sock puppet things. So, good idea. Hey, you know where I want to go next for an Elsewhere?
Where anyway?
Now, the name of this Texas...
I like the picture of you with that blue hen so much.
I know, isn't that great?
Really cute, yeah.
We go now, and basically the story is about the name of this place. Courtesy of UPI and Shepherd Express, this story is about a town in Texas called Bug Tussle.
Oh, Bug Tussle.
The Texas Department of Transportation has cut off a small Texas town and will not be supplying them with any more road signs.
Wow.
Why?
What do you need road signs? Yeah,
well, the problem is the town is named Bug Tussle.
Yeah.
So more than 70 Bug Tussle road signs have been stolen over the years, and the DOT just said enough. Said one resident, quote, people just like the name Bug Tussle.
It's cute. I like it. It's very lovely.
Wouldn't you steal a Bug Tussle road sign?
No, but I would take a picture of it.
I would take a picture of it, too.
All you need to do is take a picture and do a selfie. You don't got to take the poor people's...
Well, you know what? For a decade now, we have been promising to get a picture of me by the sign that says Force Tube Avenue.
I know. Wow.
There is a place in Queens, a road, it's like 2 blocks long, called Force Tube Avenue. Look it up. It's real. Because it has to do with the factory and manufacturing, whatever they do over there. And we always pass it, whether I was driving or we were taking an Uber, and we always be like, next time we'll get the picture of you with the Force Tube Avenue sign.
Yeah.
And next time never happened.
We all have to have dreams.
Force Tube Avenue. Bug Tussle, Texas. Let's do one more elsewhere, and then we'll get back to other things. Now, this was reported or posted in the LAD Bible. I don't even know what site that is, but this is an alert. This is a... are you ready for an ew alert?
Ew.
Ew. Let's do it together. Ew. Applications are now open for the first ever Sperm Racing World Cup. For a $100,000 prize, organizers expect specimens from men from 128 countries around the world to race around a tiny track. Said the organizers, quote, "Sperm racing isn't just a joke." To which I say, yes, it is. Yes, it is. They continued, quote, "Male fertility is declining, and nobody's really talking about it. Sperm motility, how fast your sperm moves, turns out to be a massive factor." So if you're getting your applications ready, folks, you have to be 18 plus, STD free. Not sure why. They don't even say you have to be male. I think we've gotten so politically correct in this society that they're afraid to be sexist or anti-trans or something by saying, you've got to be male, but 18 plus, no venereal diseases, and you have to be available to participate in qualifying rounds and tournaments.
Good Lord.
You think there'll be relay races with handoffs? Thank you. Oh boy. Let's do one more Greeley crime in Greeley times. Or we used to call this Greeley crimes in old times, but then we had to morph it for a different reason. So it's now Greeley times. Let's do one more piece of news out of Greeley. Here's the oops. A barber. Oh wait, I've got to get my phone. Here we go. Hello. A barber was accidentally cut by another barber. The Demon Barber of Clubhouse Drive. Why would you cut? If it's an accident, if it is quite clearly...
It's workman's comp. You have to call it in and get...
The police?
No, not the police, but you probably, unless the police or the ambulance, maybe it was
Oh, wow.
Maybe, ears bleed, things bleed, but then you call 911 for ambulance, not for,
you don't call, again, the one thing about Greeley Times is that there's no follow-up. Mm-hmm. The sentence is what it is, and there it is. So, This phone call came in, we're sending a patrol car, and just, hold a tourniquet, hold something against your ear, your face, your nose. Yeah. Doesn't say where he was cut, how deeply, how badly, how much blood there might have been or might not have been.
Yeah.
Just says that one barber cut another barber. Well.
He might have cut him and said, you cut bad hair or something, or you're ugly.
Oh,
said,
it's that kind of cut.
It could have been a cut,
yeah. I think now you're splitting hairs.
No, you have your drums.
Oh. Thank you. That, my friends, was our weekly segment here on Dave's Gone By, dedicated to life in Greeley, Colorado. We call it Greeley Times.
Mr. Horace Greeley was no fool. I'm sure that you'll agree with me that Greeley was no fool.
What he is getting at is that Mr. Greeley was no fool.
Yippee-yi!
Yippee-yi, 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 yi, yi, yippee-yi, yippee-yi, yippee-yi.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, the Dave's Gone By, Facebookio, Podcastio, Programmio of the Stream, with me, Dave Lefkowitz. Remember that we have our main website, davesgoneby.com. And that is the place to find out what upcoming things we'll be doing, see photos of me over the years and of the show, and most importantly, all the archives of the program going back to our very first one, 24 and a half years ago on terrestrial radio. It's there, as is almost every show we have done since. Out of the 1,029 previous episodes, we've got about 1,026 of them. Seriously. For free, you can download them, you can stream them, you can skip through them quickly, whatever you want to do. They're there for your entertainment, davesgoneby.com. We also put all our full shows and our interviews at archive.org. We have a place there where we load up all our stuff. Just look for Dave's Gone By on archive.org. It's the same material. It's just that it's another platform in case our website is down or have another venue for people to appreciate and find Dave's Gone By. The other place now that you can find a lot of our stuff is Spotify. We have finally, after all these years, joined the podcast revolution per se. So the last 10 years of episodes of Dave's Gone By, literally from May of 2016 through now, are available on Spotify. Just look for Dave's Gone By on Spotify. We have our YouTube channel, but as I was complaining before, and so many years on this show, YouTube blocks a lot of our episodes because of music rights issues. But you can still find a lot of our stuff on YouTube. We also have our Facebook page, which I presumably you're watching right now if you're seeing us live. The last couple of episodes are available on Facebook, but then they delete everything else. Facebook is a great place to check what we're doing, but really, davesgoneby.com is the place to be. And if you just care about the audio of the show, go to castbox.fm, because there you can just listen to our show as a podcast. Although, of course, Spotify is not going to be your preferable choice, because on Spotify we have the audio and video. In fact, we're now past the 300 shows or so that we've done on video, and we're into the audio broadcasts on Spotify as well. Anywho, it's about 10 to 11 already Eastern Time. Coming up on the show, we have our Colorado Limerick of the Damned, and of course we have StoryTime with Logan Pryce Makes a Mess. But before all that, as promised, we have our guest in the Daverhood, a man who is part of the off-Broadway movement with experimental theater, creating the Cucaracha Theater Company in New York in the 1980s, carrying that on for about 15 years, and then just directing and playwriting all over the country, all over the world. So we're going to talk to him about that. His name is Richard Caliban, and he is directing a show as we speak. Well, it's directed. The show is up, and it's called Movies TV Mayhem, running now through May 9th at the Theater Row Theater. He's also teaching an online playwriting class for Gotham writers, and that'll be happening in July through September. So thinking about maybe taking a playwriting class and maybe with him, watch this interview with Richard Caliban and Rabbi Sol, and you can make your decision at that point. So let me share my screen. La 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 la. Let me take my Zoom thing down, and let me bring up, where is it? Here it is. The one, the only, the Jewish Rabbi Sol Solomon and Richard Caliban. La cucaracha, yoida-doida-doida-dum. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I am singing about cockroaches. Not because I have them in my temple, which I do, but because we have with us the founder and artistic director of a theater company that for years and years in New York did experimental, exciting, innovative theater called La Cucaracha Theater, and it was run by this man, Richard Caliban, who is still directing, who is still playwriting. As a matter of fact, he has a new show that he is directing called Movies TV Mayhem, which is being done on Theater Row this month into early May. He's also, we're still working on a show that was already done in New York about Leni Riefenstahl, the Nazi documentary maker. All this kind of stuff to talk about for years and years of what he has brought to culture and theater. Won't you please welcome to the Daverhood, Richard Caliban. Shalom, Richard!
Hello.
How you
Quite
doing?
an intro.
Well, it is, right? So, at one point, you described yourself as an old hippie. Are you?
Yeah. Well, did I describe myself as that? I guess so. Yeah. I mean, I grew up in that era, so yeah, I still love that era, and I still, I mean, that was the greatest time of, in many ways, artistically, politically. I mean, a lot of me was formed in that era, so I guess I do tend to think of myself as an old hippie still.
So what, considering the ideals of people in the 1960s and so forth, and culturally a lot of things changed, musically, hairstyles, everything else, and yet, right now, how do you not be disillusioned by the fact that, the hippies took over for a while, and now the world is still a horrible mess?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. How do you not be disillusioned? I guess, I mean, because I feel like what's going on now is a speed bump. In a lot of ways, I feel it's the swan song of a part of I feel like there's a big shift towards a more a different world, and I think a lot of what's going on now is the last gasp of an older sort of era and viewpoint, a more patriarchal society, so it doesn't. I don't feel like oh my God, we've reached the end. I feel like we're actually. This is the birthing pains of a new transition to something else.
The patriarchy is falling, and pussy will reign at some point. Soon, relatively soon, in our lifetime. God willing. Maybe you won't put it like that, but I put it like that. So, can I ask, of all things to call a New York theater company, back in, I guess it was the 1980s, maybe even 70s, La Cucaracha.
Yeah.
Why? Yeah.
It wasn't actually La Cucaracha. It was just Cucaracha, and it oddly came for it. Some people thought, oh, we're a Hispanic theater company, but we weren't. We were just an experimental theater company. In fact, the Times called us. We were the most interesting experimental company in the city, which was maybe true for a short period, but anyway. So Cucaracha came from back in the 80s. There were these commercials played on TV and radio where Frank Zappa. They were like anti-cocaine commercials that Frank Zappa did. And the end of the commercial would end with him saying, "Rots your mind, rots your body, Cucaracha." It was just nonsensical. And so I just love that. And so we would, our logo would be CUC, and then below that, ARA, and then C, and it was more, so it was kind of, we were just deconstructing the word a bit. So it was in that sense.
It didn't mean anything. It wasn't like you were in a building over on what was Theater Row back there, still a Theater Row, but they knocked everything down, or over on East 4th Street that was full of roaches. No. Or you never had the roaches do a musical with you guys. So, yeah, it was just a word. It was a nonsense word, just like Zappa used it. So when you were coming up with, I guess, I don't even know if they used the phrase mission statements back then, but what was the idea of Cucaracha Theater when you devised it?
Yeah. Well, for me, it was, I was in love with ensemble theater, which is kind of what I grew up with in Bard College, and I liked. To me, it was and I was very and my exposure to like companies in Europe that worked together for many years. There's something about people that have worked together for years. Just watching actors like that walk across a rehearsal room together. It's like music. It's like water. You can't buy that in 3 weeks of rehearsal. So I wanted to form a company where I could build a family of collaborators and not have to reinvent the wheel every time I did a play. I wanted to work with the same people and develop a language and a way of working together that could continue on. The trouble is, it was hard in this country because, in Europe, you kind of be in a company and you kind of stay there and you develop with them. And here, it's more about getting to the next job, I guess. So it's a much more mercenary, crazy system. And it was hard to keep, as people got more successful, they would move on to other things. It's very hard to, so experimental theater, avant-garde theater, is generally in this country made up of young people. Like one of the few groups that was making that kind of art into their maturity was like the Wooster group, but most of it we had to we were just keep recycling young actors into the same thing. So I was trying to hold on to my actors and to my designers and collaborators and as much as possible.
And did you have a permanent home or were you renting?
Yeah, no, we had a 10,000 square foot warehouse down in Tribeca. Back when it was, we used to have to put maps on our flyers for people to find it because it was like no man's land down there. And that's why we ended up closing down eventually in the late 90s because suddenly the real estate boom hit Tribeca and, we no longer.
So were you able to use, that's a huge space. Were you able to use it and configure it? Did you do experiential theater of not just even black box, but audiences walk in and they're surrounded by cats?
It was always different. We never built an actual, we would set it up differently for every show, basically. Yeah.
Wow. So what are one or two of the most proud moments of your career in terms of writing and directing, about where you just went, this is what I was meant to do and it came out just the way I wanted it?
Well, never. Yeah. But I loved that period of working with, there were, it was always hard, but I think during that period, working at Cucaracha was, I felt like, I was writing for particular actors in the company. I knew the space I was working in, so there was, I felt like, I had most control over all my tools, so to speak, so that was very fulfilling. It can be harder to, do a play with a bunch of strangers, 3 weeks rehearsal and thrown up in some theater that you move into 2 days before you go up. That can be frustrating. So I felt like in a lot of ways I could put on stage more of what I was envisioning back.
It's like a Richard Foreman sort of a thing. You work with.
Yeah.
So let me, in one of your bios, or maybe on your website or something, you said, okay, so we were this little theater that nobody could find, that we're just throwing all this stuff together, and then somehow you got mentioned in the club scene, and you went from being completely unknown to the hottest ticket in town for one particular production. What happened there?
Oh, that was, it might be two different things going on there. I had come back from, I took a little sabbatical and I was at the Yale Drama School for a bit, and I came back and did a show called Famine Plays, and we got the Voice showed up because we'd been doing, this was the first real show we did in the warehouse, and before that, we were kind of nomadic, putting up shows in odd spaces and stuff. But and the Voice came, and they gave us an Obie as an emerging company, and we suddenly were on the map. And suddenly, because before that it was usually, kind of our friends coming to shows, and then suddenly we were, everybody was coming, people we didn't know, and we put on these fundraisers where we'd have a samba band, and there would be 1,000 people would show up. It was very quickly we went from just being kind of our little dinky company to a big deal.
Might I ask, back then, how much? We're talking middle of the 1980s. So you would throw a fundraiser and people would donate and so forth.
Yeah.
How much of your operating was ticket sales? How much was fundraising? And how much did you actually get from grants from the government back then when they were funding art.
Yeah. Well, we did a lot more. Probably more so than most companies. We got a lot of our income was illegal, because I mean, we were basically operating like a bar. Because we would always have late night events, performance artists. I mean, you could walk in and see Eric Bogosian on stage at 2 a.m. or stuff, or Blue Man Group before anybody knew who they were. So we always had stuff going on, and we always had a bar that brought us in a ton of money, frankly. But then we got, but we were kind of an organization before we really had an office and an administration to like raise money. So we got that first grant from the Village Voice. We were like, oh, wow, we can set up an office. We can start doing this for real. And then we started getting grants from private organizations and government. But I think it'd be much harder now because there's a lot less, government money available. But most of our money came from private. From
donors. And did you take any heat from like the Giuliani administration because you were dancing and performance with alcohol, or? No,
we were completely illegal. We didn't even have a CVO for the it was an illegal space. You couldn't have people in there. But we would be, I remember one night, a couple cops walked into the place at like 4 a.m. and they walked up to the bar, they had a drink. They didn't question anything. There's sex going on in the corners and drugs, and there's all kinds of insanity going on. And these guys just walked in, kind of like hung out for a bit, and then they left. I mean, today we'd all be arrested, for God's sake.
And you weren't bribing the mob, and you weren't bribing the cops. There was nothing under the table.
It was just a different era,
Like, wow, I should have lived in that era. I don't know where the hell my life was when you were having all this crazy fun, and still trying to do art. And still, I don't know what the hell was open at 4 a.m. What kind of show were you? Was Eric Bogosian doing a monologue at 4 a.m.?
Very well could have been, yeah.
So let me ask you also about Blue Man Group, because I thought that, first time I heard of them was Serious Fun at Lincoln Center. But they were already a downtown thing by the time Lincoln Center picked them. What were they doing in the earlier years down at Cucaracha?
Well, we did a summer cabaret where we presented performance artists, and so they came. We booked them, and there were just there were 3 art students. Nobody knew who the hell they were. And they did this crazy piece in a warehouse where I remember they had these paintings on ropes, and they would be painting them, and then they'd swing them out over the audience and stuff. But they were just kind of nerdy art students that, and then then their show happened, that's still running today. But for many years they'd finish the show, their off-Broadway show, and then they'd pack a bunch of stuff up into a van and they'd bring it over to Cucaracha late at night, and they'd try out some new stuff there. Like their tubes and stuff like that.
But did you realize at that point that it was world-changing, that it was some level of genius going on there, or were they just another bunch of crazy?
No, we definitely knew they were special, but God, nobody knew that they were going to turn into like a worldwide franchise, for God's sakes. Yeah.
So you mentioned Bogosian. Who were some of the other people who cut their teeth, if you will, at Cucaracha?
Oh God! Name just about Ethel Eichelberger, Instant Girl, Urban Bushwoman. Just dozens and dozens of Joey Arias. The list goes on and on and on. David Van Tighem. Not that none of these people were cut their teeth at Cucaracha. They were a lot of, but they all. But just about everybody in the performance art scene came through Cucaracha at some point, because we did a whole bunch of them. And then, of course, we were doing plays as well. But, we did a lot of that, because it was a great era for that. Everybody was doing, performance art, which I guess is really just a variety act. But we made it sound artsy by calling it performance art.
Well, did it break your heart to close the space when rent was off the wall, and then it was the 90s? And was it really, or were you already like, it's had its time, and I'm directing all these other places. It's all right.
Yeah. Part of me, because it was, Part of me was a little bit relieved because it was a 24-hour a day job, but pipe would break and I'd be there at the middle of the day. And and I had little kids, and it was, and my whole life was there. So it was hard. You're also kind of the principal of the high school. It's like you're always stepping on somebody's toes. And so it was just, I felt like I was in the center of a hurricane for years. So it was stressful and hard, also wonderful. So part of me was relieved because I could focus more on my work rather than, running this theater company. But now I miss it. I wish, I wish I'd found a way to have hung on to it and moved it. But I was kind of exhausted at the time. So.
Do new theater companies and budding artistic directors come to you for advice? And when they do, what do you tell them?
Well, not for advice, but I remember I was up for a artistic director job by like a regional theater, and they were interested in reaching a younger, hipper audience, and so and that's what we were kind of famous for. It took me a while to figure that out. I thought it was a liability. I kept apologizing. Well, our audience is kind of young, and I realized everybody else wants a young audience, but anyway, but some lawyer from their board comes and interviews me, and I just realized there was
yeah.
There was no connection, and so things, it's weird, like because a lot of companies start out like we did, crazy bunch of kids put on plays, and before you become a theater company. But then if you can, and probably would have happened to Cucaracha to an extent too, as you continue and there's more money involved, and then suddenly you got boards and you got, people on there who are, not quite, something solidifies and becomes a little, you lose something you kind of become the thing that you thought you were replacing in the first place,
That's right, yeah. As soon as you hit 30, don't trust anyone. That's the idea.
Yeah. Suddenly people are getting paid more, and there's anyway. So in some ways, maybe it's good that it died when it did, because it was always kind of, it was a crazy place. It never became an institution.
Well, people were stooping at 3 a.m. in the corners. That's very, you don't get the Irish repertory. You don't even see that at Theater for the New City. Maybe some necking at Theater for the New City on a Sunday morning. They get in there before a show goes on. But, you don't get the stooping and the drugs. At the roundabout. It just doesn't happen,
no.
As far as I know anyway. But we're talking with Richard Caliban, who is a playwright and director. We want to make sure that people know that you are directing a play. It's called Movies, TV, Mayhem by a playwright named Dean Coucher. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. It's at Theater Row. Which theater in Theater Row? Is it the Theater Row Theater, or is it one of the inside things?
It's I think it used to be the Harold Clurman, but I may be wrong about that. Anyway, it's in the basement. There are two large spaces, so it's about the size of like say the classic stage. It's very, very high. It's really beautiful space. I love it. So yeah, we have a lot of resources there to work with. It doesn't feel like we're in a cramped little black box theater.
So, and it's running from now through May 9th, but please tell us, what is it?
Yeah, well, Dean is a very well-known production designer. Worked on shows like The Sopranos, Miami Vice, movies like Sophie's Choice. He had a long career as a production designer in film and TV. And so this is basically kind of a collection of stories of crazy things from his career, stories about all different aspects of the, behind the scenes making of shows. And
with visuals to complement, I assume it's designed in a certain way. It isn't just a monologue, or is it? What is it?
No, well, that was the challenge. It is a lot of storytelling. So how to make that exciting and that's, for me, that was, as a director coming in, that was the challenge, how to make that theatrical and visually interesting and whatnot. So, which we've done. It's yes, it's full of music. It's full of projections. It's very engaging, very theatrical.
So can you give us a little taste? Like, what's a story that he tells in the show about some production near disaster or actual disaster or, surprising element of movies, TV mayhem of his design career?
Well, it's not about him. Most of the stories don't involve him. They're basically, the premise is that there's these three actors who put on a podcast called Movies, TV, and Mayhem, and they're defining terms for the audience, they're defining movie making terms. And so they take turns, like getting up and doing these stories, performing them. Like, so there's one, for instance, about this teamster who drives around Mickey Rourke, and but that's part of his job is and these are all true stories. And it's so one of it is that there's this tension between like the LA surfer dude crew and the New York sort of mafia type teamsters, and how this guy goes, how his brother is like, a serious mafioso kind of guy, and like he comes home and there's a head in his freezer, stuff like that. So it's all these
true story?
Yeah.
A human head?
Yes.
All right, I need to see this play. Oh my God, that's just, whoa. I thought you'd just be telling a couple of things about key grips and Best Boys.
Yes, well, there's plenty of that too. But
I love Best Boys. I do. Something about Best Boys just makes me so happy. Our best boy right now is Richard Caliban. We're talking with him. He is the best boy to see because he's directing this particular play right now off-Broadway. Theater Row happens to be between 9th and 10th Avenue over in Midtown Manhattan. But you've also got another play that you did in New York already, over in Brooklyn, and you've done it in other places. It's coming to Seattle in October, which is not that far away. And oh boy, I got to hear about this one, I don't know if you know this, but I'm Jewish. So there's a play about the German directress Leni Riefenstahl, who made a little happy movie called Triumph of the Will, which was a 2-hour Nazi commercial. So, and she also did the Olympiad, which was also a 2-hour Nazi commercial. So, that's Jesse Owens aside. But tell us, please, about the Leni Riefenstahl show.
Yeah. Yes, well, this one's written by Gil Kaufman. And it stars an actress I've collaborated with a lot over the years, Jody Markell, who won an Obie years ago for a play called Machinal that she starred in that was at the Public Theater. It's Leni Riefenstahl basically trying to re-edit her. It's like her from the sort of a state of limbo. She's, she lived to be 101, but in this,
because only the good die young.
Play, yes, in this play, she's kind of, speaking from after death, and the premises say she's kind of like trying to re-edit her life to create the impression that to forgive her, not to forgive,
to explain
herself.
Yeah,
because her story was always, look, I was just an artist, So, and she did. She never got, convicted of anything. She, and yet she did more to promote Nazism than anybody. But she
not more than Goebbels, but she was up there, yeah.
Well, just in terms of advertising power, she was. Yeah. I mean, she was the greatest advertiser there was for that. And there's all these photos. She was buddies with them all, hanging out with Hitler and the boys, and all right in the. And yet she tried to, pretend that she had no knowledge of this and it wasn't political. She was just an artist doing her work, So she's a very fascinating character in that way, and she was an innovative filmmaker. a lot of people embrace her as sort of a feminist figure because, you know, did a lot of interesting stuff in theater in film when, you know, most women weren't even allowed to direct anything. And so she's a complicated, you know, figure, and also, you know, very. So we're really getting at her, like trying to come to, you know, wrestling with her guilt.
But also the question is, so there have been documentaries about her and interviews about, but how is the play tackling the subject of Leni Riefenstahl? How do they tell the story? Is it a monologue also, or what is it?
It's a one-woman show.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah. So it's her basically, you know, treating the audience almost as like, you know, the jury, and her, you know, she's trying to explain, you know, like, you know, oh, you would have loved Hitler. I mean, before the power got to his head, stuff like that, you know. And also there's a section where she's kind of, you know, she's trying to use the audience. She wants to re-edit her film, so she wants to take pictures of the audience, and she tosses out. But she wants them to look happy, not, you know. And she tosses out swastika armbands to the audience, you know. And it's always interesting, like, you know, in real, you know, in some places people actually will put them on.
Oh, sure. All right.
And so it's about this pressure of, like, you know, will they cooperate with her or not? Which is kind of, you know, so she's trying to explain, like, that's what it was like, you know, back then. Everybody went along with it because we didn't know.
Well, let's just hope the audience members take off the bands after they leave the theater. Actually, in this climate, they can keep them on.
Yeah. Well, in some places,
all the Palestinians will be like, yeah, you know.
No, and sometimes we've actually lost a few, so somebody's taking them home every once in a while.
Maybe American Indians. They see the thing as like, oh no, it's not that similar at all. It's
the spiders. Yeah,
it's a good one. Yeah. So, but let me also ask, because we haven't gotten that much into your life. We've been talking so much about your work. Did you, when you were younger, actually live in a rainforest?
Wow, where are you reading this? Huh?
I made it up completely. I just I pull things from the Bible.
I have no idea what you're talking about. No, I did. Well, I don't know where that story appeared, but yeah, I did it for a while. I was you know, I was living in Puerto Rico when I was a kid, and I quit college, and I built a little house on. I used to do some construction work and stuff for this family that was pretty wealthy, and they had a place up in the rainforest, and I basically asked him if I, you know, can I build a house on your property? And they let me. And so I built this little house on stilts. And, you know, I remember you could, like, there was a bathroom. You could, like, be taking a shower and pick, like, leaves from the trees, you know. Anyway, so that was my hippie days. I quit college and I was going to start a commune down there, and I wanted to go sailing around the world with my buddies. But anyway, I ended up eventually, you know, going back to Bard College and being a drama major. And then my whole life changed.
Well, what was it about? I mean, what did you learn at Bard? And also you were at Yale. You went to Yale Drama School, as you mentioned a bit later on. But so what did you get from those experiences that you wouldn't have gotten just getting together with friends and making theater?
Yeah. Well, I didn't know anything about theater. I mean, I grew up, you know, going around the world with my parents my dad worked for GM. So I had a very suburban, in different places like Costa Rica, Colombia, Hawaii. But I had you know, my parents were not artsy people. I was just, you know, I played football. I was just a regular guy. I didn't read, you know, and I went to Bard, which was full of, like, very liberal, very, you know, artsy kids from New York and stuff. And so to go into Bard, it was like, it was taken upside down and shaken. I love Bard so much. It changed my life, and it turned me into an artist, because I really wasn't one. I just got into theater because I was chasing girls, you know, and they said, oh, you want to do lights for us? And I go, yeah, you know. But I started to love the whole scene, and eventually, you know, it was I don't know. It's over. You know, there was a guy there who ran the theater department, Bill Driver, who just, you know, made me feel like I could be an artist, and changed my life. And I love that place so much, because it was very, you know, it was all we did was theater when we were there. It was a great time. and it was exciting. It was this early '70s, and everything was full of political theater and ensemble theater, and the crazy stuff was happening. So yeah, I mean,
and you graduate at that point. You did graduate from college. At that point, you got a degree from Bard. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
So also, you did mention that you played football. So obviously, you're not Jewish. Can I ask what you were raised as, and if you have any kind of, since I mentioned before that I happen to be.
I noticed that. Yeah.
Yeah. So, what were you raised as anything, and do you have any religious connection or any spirituality in your life? Or is it all humanism?
Yeah. I mean, my family was Episcopalian. I sang in the choir, but it was just nonsense to me. I had no connection to anything. And then when I got married, I converted to because my ex-wife's family was Catholic, so I became I pretended to be a Catholic for a while. But yeah, I mean, I have, I consider myself pretty spiritual, but I don't have any real religion connection to me.
And you have kids, did you raise them essentially atheistic or
No, actually, they were raised Catholic.
Oh, because at the time they did that, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Are any of them in theater or the showbiz, or are you discouraging? No.
I tried to make them into miserable, starving artists. I remember. I always tell this story. It was late at night at our cabaret, and Blue Man Group was on, and I'm holding my little son up in the booth, and he's like working the lights like a crazy, and he's like 4 years old or something. And so Blue Man is up there, and he's just like going nuts with the lights, and the lights are just going all over the place. And he's
which Blue Man would have liked, maybe, at that point.
Right. Yeah. It was craziness, and I'm looking out, and the whole place is just packed with like all these crazy, downtown theater people, and I'm looking at him, and I'm thinking, oh my God, this kid, he's going to grow up with like, he'll have green hair and nose rings and tattoos and everything. Nope. They rebelled. Both my kids rebelled. They both have straight like jobs, and they're in the whole different world, but they're happy and they're successful. So,
Mazel. Which I could say the same. So.
I failed to make them into miserable starving artists.
Well, there's still time. You have a few more years. You can push them.
You never know.
Now, speaking of starving artists and so forth, you define yourself, I guess, as an experimental theater artist still, even though a lot of the stuff you do is not really.
Yeah, not so much anymore. I've gotten a lot more into much more traditional forms of theater. I'm not doing the wild stuff I did back in the old days, but I still use a lot of those elements, I suppose.
So when you teach playwriting, and you do teach playwriting, what do you, how do you, when someone comes to you with something experimental, as opposed to linear narrative, Arthur Miller, or whatever, how do you even, what do you do? What do you tell them? How do you shape something that is supposed to be out there? Right.
Well, that's a good question. I mean, it's much easier to teach, more traditional narrative theater because, we have a lot of, rules that you can, apply to it. Conflict, climactic moments of truth, all this stuff that can go into shaping a narrative story. Something that's abstract, I teach that as if it were music. An abstract piece that isn't working, there's still a dramatic structure to an abstract, more of a collage-like sort of piece of theater that adheres more to, at least in my mind, like the way we construct music. It still imitates dramatic structure. It often comes to a sort of climactic moment, So, like when I build, because I have done a lot of, ensemble pieces that didn't have a narrative, didn't have they were like a collage, So you can there's still thematic unity. There's still ways of building it that I, that adhere more to musical principles, I think, than some of the more literal, anyway, so
That's fascinating. It's an amazing
I
way.
want to go down a wormhole there, but
Well, no, I'm glad you did. This is, eventually I'll be worm food, so will you, everybody. So why not make wormholes now? Yeah, that's my depression kicking in. But let me ask you also, Richard Caliban. So, we've talked so much about, well, we're actually talking about a lot of people who did theater in your space. But can I ask you one or two of the most profound experiences that you've had watching theater elsewhere, either as a child or as a grown-up, or seeing theater in your space? What kind of, just one, maybe at Bard, tell us.
Yeah. There's been a few. One of the things that has always stuck with me was back in the 70s, Andre Serban had an ensemble that worked out of La Mama, and he did one of his sort of signature pieces was the Arestian trilogy, and he worked with Elizabeth Swados, who I also knew from Bard because she taught up there too, where she did this amazing vocal work. Anyway, those were very formative theatrical experiences. He also did Good Woman of Szechuan, it was just amazing ensemble work with incredible, and that's, to me, that was like, like when I was, in college, all I wanted to do was to go to be working at La Mama and to be having a drink after the show at Phoebe's. This was back when it was a real dive bar. So I love that. I remember watching in a different formative show was watching Adrienne Minuchkin's company. She from France. She did this huge show at an Armory out in Brooklyn, and so I guess it's ensemble theater resonates with me a lot. I've always loved that process, and just because there's so much more that can be accomplished when you've been working together for years,
Well, now, even though it is not ensemble theater, we do want to guide people to the one-person shows that you are working on, that you are directing. One of them is coming in October to Seattle. It's the play about Leni Riefenstahl. But right now, we've got the play that you want to direct people to. It's, because you're the director, Movies, TV, Mayhem by Dean Toucher. It's playing at the Theater Row Basement Double Space Theater somewhere there, over on West 42nd Street. Between now and May 9th, do get your tickets. Also find more about Richard Caliban at his website, richardcaliban.com. Last question before we let you go. What else are you still writing pieces? Are you still writing plays to direct, or mostly you're directing now? What are you working on?
Yeah, well, I'm directing a lot more, but yes, no, I've written a whole slew of plays since like when the pandemic came. I really got back to I kind of loved the pandemic for that, because I became very reclusive, and I wrote a whole bunch of plays, but that I'm hoping to get done. So yeah, I'd like to
All right, pick one. Tell us about it. Like the one that you want most to see. I mean, Kent, you would be the director, won't you? Get it done.
Yeah, I always direct my own stuff. Yeah. One I like is called Cranium Fandango, about a woman who has this. She has this strange thing where she, when she speaks, like just non sequitur nonsense sort of comes out, and it becomes progressively worse, and it affects her life, and she becomes a homeless person, but then she finds that she is able to translate that into being a sort of a poet. And she ends up being sort of the poet laureate of the U.S. Anyway, so it's about kind of taking your flaws and turning them into your strengths.
Cranium Fandango. I want you. Okay, when you have that play done, please come back in the Daverhood and talk to us again. Will you? Would you kindly, ladies and gentlemen, Richard Caliban with us. I want to wish you so many more plays to direct, to also to write, and so much more opportunity and travel and wonderful things to do. And we want to thank you so much for being with us in the Daverhood.
Thank you. Pleasure speaking to you, sir.
Shalom. here on Dave's Gone By, live with me, Dave Lefkowitz. That, of course, was Rabbi Sol Solomon talking to Richard Caliban all about the show that he's directing, Movies, TV, Mayhem, playing now at a theater near you, if you happen to be near West 42nd Street, between 9th and 10th Avenue, and the Theater Row Theater Complex. Movies, TV, Mayhem. Well, we don't have movies here. This is kind of like TV. And every week on Dave's Gone By, we have Mayhem. And this day, really no exception. Look behind me. Or once this show is in the can, watch the archives and see the opening stuff and Greeley times. This is what we do every week here on the program. This is, excuse me, our 1030th episode of the show. We're calling it CALI for ya. Get it? Because Richard CALI was for us, CALI for ya. That's our mayhem. That's our mayhem. And so we have a bit more mayhem to do for you for the rest of the show. We have our Colorado Limerick of the Damned coming up, as well as Friends of the Daverhood. So do not go away. Speaking of things to stay tuned for, it is now time for StoryTime. Now, this is a segment that began quite a few years ago when we were in Colorado, and I found a book in a gas station called A Cow for Hansel. And it's this children, young adult book about a little boy in pre-World War I Germany. And literally, the kid's wearing lederhosen. And he is very poor, his family's poor, so he does everything he possibly can just to buy his family a cow. And we actually read it week after week after week, mocking it occasionally, as one does. So ever since then, we've tried to read more books, generally not books as long as that or as involved. A lot of children's books. Sometimes Rabbi Sol will grab a religious book, but today, and I don't think we're going to read the whole thing today. We'll see how it goes if I read more of it. But the book on today's story time is... It's part of the Maple Ridge series, or beginning of the Maple Ridge series. This is number 1. Logan Pryce Makes a Mess. Yes, indeed, by, who wrote this? It's something Ilmore, illustrated by Petra Brown. And we notice here's Logan Pryce making a mess, ladies and gentlemen. Not the kind of mess that 12-year-old boys are really ashamed of, but still. Let's meet old Logan Pryce here. Tales from Maple Ridge by Grace Gilmore. That's her name. And look at how many places this is printed. Little Simon, New York, London, Toronto, Sydney, New Delhi, although Rabbi Sol generally prefers a nice old kosher deli, and who knows where else. I want to thank my wonderful editor, Sonali Fry. Sonali what? No, better not be French. I know, potato. I also want to thank the History Center in Tompkins County for their invaluable assistance in my research. This book, by the way, is a work of fiction. And from fiction, we go to fix it. Here's the fix-it shop. Logan Pryce picked up a hammer and pounded the tin cup. I had a hammer, I pound a tin cup. He's really doing great work there. That's something I want to drink out. The fox away is going to be my best invention ever, he told Skeeter. Skeeter barked and wagged his honey-colored tail, which is strange because Skeeter is actually Logan's brother. He always agreed with everything Logan said. Logan leaned closer to the oil lamp and continued hammering. Nearby, the horses munched on their oats and paid no attention because they're friggin' horses. The cows did the same with their hay. The farm animals were well used to Logan and his fix-it shop. See, the fix-it shop was where Logan mended broken things. Sometimes he even recycled them into new things like the fox away. Fix-it shop took up an entire stall in the corner of the barn, and Logan's work table. I kind of love this because he's obviously a non-Jewish boy, because Jewish boys at that age, they're either reading, they're listening to music, or, they're wondering why they will never get a girl until their 30s. So he's, no, Goyim, they sit there, they make stuff. He's all of like 10 years old, and he's in a shop.
Hans again, Hans?
No, it's kind of like Hans.
Because that's Hans.
He's an American Hans.
What is he making?
He's pounding on a tin cup.
For what?
To make a fox trap. Yeah. I wish you could see my wife's face. So Logan's work table was a wooden board standing on two steady sawhorses.
Why don't you?
See, sawhorse is the kind of word that a Jewish boy has never heard before. Oh, by the way, we have Papigo with us, who's also enjoying this. And this was really upsetting. I forgot to mention this.
What, honey?
My wife and I went to Target last night to get some stuff. And she saw this on, was it there last time or on the website or something for Target? She saw this for potato and was tremendously excited about it because, of course, potatoes thrive on and live on ketchup. Oh, and then, without looking at the label, not this label, they tried it, only to discover it's not ketchup at all. The red color is from peppers, not ketchup. And what happened to you, Papigo, when you tried the hot sauce? Oh, I'm vomiting from my eyes!
It's not hot sauce.
Well, it's not hot. It says hot sauce.
Oh, it's not hot sauce.
It's even little tears.
No, those are the cheeks. Those are blush.
Oh.
Those are the things you don't like on this other lawn.
Yeah. No, the other llama is made up. It's a girl. It's got makeup. This is cheeks. Yeah. No buttocks at all. Oh, what?
That's our calendar.
Oh.
Butts on things is our calendar.
So, anyway, Logan's chair was a blue wooden barrel with the words Dickinson's Witch Hazel stamped on it. So we know this is not just last year. Logan had a lot of raw materials to tinker with, like china cups without handles, mismatched buttons, a cracked butter churn, a cuckoo clock that no longer told the time. The objects spilled out of crates and scattered across the floor. I'm telling you, if he had a yard sale, I would be right there. And he had many tools, too. His favorite was a silver pocket knife.
Oh, this is not going to go well.
No. Oh, Logan.
Uh-oh.
Little children with knives. I wonder if a barber's actually going to cut him. And his knife was engraved with a maple leaf design. His father had bought it for him at Mayberry's General Store. The barn doors creaked open. A breeze whooshed in, smelling of earth and early spring, and one presumes manure. The oil lamp flickered for a moment, flicker, 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 and then grew still. A cat skittered out from behind one haystack and into another. Logan! His sister, Tess, stood in the deep shadow of the doorway. Ma says you need to come in for supper. Now, his sister's quite attractive. This is what's freaking me out. His sister's attractive in a Lillian Gish kind of a way.
Yeah.
And Logan's kind of busy with his stuff because he's a young kid. He's not pubescent yet. Why is the cow looking at his sister like that? What?
The cow's a girl. Aren't cows girls?
So, all right, it could be, we've got here a lesbo action cow.
The sister has some food. I think
Oh,
the
maybe,
cow's
yeah.
looking at the food in the
You think?
bucket. Yes.
Because I don't know, that cow with a little, cows, I hope so. Meanwhile, the dog's sniffing the sister in the place. Well, perhaps the dog likes fish. Tess was 9, a year older than Logan. She had hazel eyes and 2 long brown braids that hung down her shoulders. Be there in a minute, said Logan, as he reached for a messy ball of twine. I think she and Pa want to talk to us. Tess sounded worried, mainly because her voice is obviously changing. About what? I don't know. I don't know why she's Southern and he isn't. I don't know.
Is one adopted?
And even the cow's kind of Southern. Like, moo. That cow is into everything. But Tess is saying it sounds really important what the parents want to talk about. So he says, okay. Logan scooped up the twine and the tin cup and stuffed them into a gunny sack. Again, another word that you probably haven't heard recently, but if there's a place where you want to keep all your gunnies, a sack is probably your best bet. He added some other items and blew out the lamp. He wondered why. I noticed he also spilled milk while he's, but he didn't cry over it, as he shouldn't.
Yeah.
He wondered why Ma and Pa wanted to talk to them. It was about school, their chores. Logan had knocked over a bucket of fresh milk this morning, but and that's a metaphor because he's, yeah, here.
Okay. I want to see if anyone's watching along.
But Logan had an excuse for knocking over the bucket. Yeah, he's a klutz.
I don't think that's an excuse. Wait, we have where's the, wait.
That is our bucket knocking over sound, ladies and gentlemen.
Come here, let me fix your hair. You were rubbing your hair.
Yeah. Get my dandruff off. Thank you very much. There you go. Thank you.
You want a hat?
I got this. So the bucket had been in the way as Logan chased a couple of hens that had escaped from the hen house. Outside, the sky was big and pink with twilight, and the ground was soft and wet, kind of like Logan's sister. Logan's boots made squishy noises, squish, squish, and splattered mud, splatter, splatter, as he walked. Tess stepped more carefully. Skeeter dashed off to chase a hare
What you just got?
into a bush. Oh, my...
Yes.
That's odd. Pa hasn't plowed yet. Oh, I hope this isn't a cancer story. Please don't let this be a cancer.
Is Dad sick? Mom's
Well, Tess said they passed the fields. Logan glanced around, and Tess was
Pa
right.
just abandoned them.
Oh, I wonder if they're going to be all alone in the world.
Where's the Ma, though? They got the Pa and the Ma.
Like a Mary...
Grandma, they got you there.
You know, they should have something. Well, they passed the fields. Logan glanced around. Tess was right. It was March, and the land should be ready for planting wheat. Instead, it was dotted with patches of snow. Well, if it's dotted with patches of snow, then obviously not going to plant yet. Crows pecked at mounds of dirt and weeds. Is there something wrong with Pa? Logan wondered.
Wait.
Dum, da, dum, dum. I'm thinking gallbladder cancer.
I think he ran off with one of the farmhands from the other farm.
Oh, that could be. Well, no, he wouldn't want to leave her. There's Ma. Ma in her little petticoat.
Why is her head turned around like 360? Ma's like an alien.
Why does she have only 3 fingers on the
Yeah,
hand?
I know.
Accidents do happen on the farm.
I'm no kidding.
We'll do one more chapter of this because it's so thrilling. In the kitchen, Ma stirred a pot of stew at the cast iron
And
stove.
look what else people are posting. Like,
I can't see what the plants?
yeah, I mean,
Because we're looking at planting. The stove did everything from cooking their food to heating their house. Pa drew water from the indoor pump, and the pitcher overflowed into...
Pa's there.
Yeah, he's there. He's healthy. He's carrying a pitcher of some
Why
water.
wasn't he doing the chores?
I don't know. Shoes, Ma called out, because she's a basic.
She wants to go to Zappos.
No, as the kids came in, she calls out. She frowned sternly at Logan's mud-covered boots. Logan unlaced his boots, pulled them off. Tess did the same. Drew and Annie, my God, Ma's been productive.
Annie?
Drew and Annie, there's like 4 kids. They were sitting at the table. Drew, who was 11, was adding sums in a notebook.
Oh, nice.
Several sums, some sums. Annie, who was 4, get her started early. Annie, who was 4, was building a tower of pickles.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
God bless her. Poor
That's
child.
okay, because Logan goes into the barn and is jerking his gherkin, you know. Logan sat down and pulled a doll out of his gunny sack. He brushed hay from its hair and handed it to Annie. Oh, I fixed her leg, he said. Thank you,
That's
Lolo.
where the child's going.
Oh my God, this literally came up.
Yes.
This literally
Yes,
just came
yes.
up.
That's where the child is going. She's preparing for the pickle contest.
Wow.
It's a pickle festival.
Isn't that this weekend?
Yeah, let me see.
Where is this?
I don't know.
I need to know now.
It's the Quad State Pickle Fair.
Yes?
Unlimited samples, Boonesboro, Maryland. No, May 16th. pickle vendors, 23 plus pickle vendors, 12 pickle-inspired food trucks, 3 cool pickle contests, 6 bands, free parking, children 12 and under are free, dozens of vendors, 8 acres of ground, 55,000 square feet of pavilions. And it says, tired of going to a pickle festival that has a paltry number of pickle vendors and sell out, and the space is too small and therefore too crowded?
Yes.
What ad uses the word therefore?
And therefore. And
It's
therefore.
a quad state, so 4 states are selling.
So all these quadriplegics are there eating
No,
pickles.
that's what she's practicing the kid.
She's stacking her pickle. By the way, are you tired of pickle festivals that have only 3 or 4 vendors? How many
Honey?
do you really need? Yeah. How is this coming up on your feed?
This is your phone. It says.
Oh, no, now I
she's
understand.
With somebody, Molly Pitcher Service Station. You gotta write something.
Okay,
You
so
gotta post your picture.
yeah. So
Can I
the
post
hell
your
with the book.
picture?
Wait, I haven't shown that yet. Wait one sec.
Can I post your picture? So I'm gonna respond.
This, when my wife and I schlep back and forth to New York, sometimes we get a car service to do it, and we have to stop. We don't have to, but sometimes we have to stop at a rest stop in New Jersey. And the beautiful thing about not all, but many of the New Jersey rest stops is that they have these garbage cans out front of the very front of the stop. And for whatever reason, to encourage children to throw away the crap that they've been eating from the food they bought at the rest stop.
Well, I took it down. I gotta find a picture in your thing and then load it.
They're not regular garbage cans. They are shaped.
Would you save it in there in frog somehow?
I would have, you know what, I'm going to find it on my I wonder if I have it in my new photos. Hold on.
See if you have it here.
Let me just see if I can find it here, and then I'll just do a share screen. That'll be easier. Oh, I wrote frog. Let's see, frog. Oh, here we go.
Do you have any?
We have a few. So I'm going to share my screen, ladies and gentlemen.
Let's go back to your Facebook.
So now you can actually see my desktop here.
So the person who posted it.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on.
Here's one of the earliest ones that we have
You
here.
have to respond to her right this minute, okay?
Oh, I do.
Okay,
So this is one of the
Her
New
name
Jersey.
is
Yeah.
Lisa Giordano.
Yeah.
With Ann Volard. So find this and send it and put your picture under it.
So
Right?
they're stopping at.
Can you email yourself a picture of you with the frog and I'll attach it?
I can do that. Let me get the best picture of the frog here. So my wife, she's scrolling through my Facebook feed, and there's this of a woman at the Molly Pitcher, New Jersey rest stop. Molly Pitcher is one of the ones with a frog. She took a picture with the frog. In our many trips to
email me that
through. Yeah, well, I'm going to give you a better one. Here's another one. This one's pretty good.
Okay.
And you can see this is still pandemic era because I was wearing a mask at that point. Here's one. Let's see. This is now going back a little sooner. Oh, here's a pensive one with the frog. I like that one. These are not all at Molly Pitcher, though. Here's disappearing head. What is that? Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. We can, yeah. There's that one. Which is the best? This is in the wintertime. That's a good one. Or do I prefer this one? Yeah, all right. Maybe we should take votes on this. Let's have another of me with the same damn frog. Oh, that's good. Okay. I'm gonna email this to you somehow. No, I'm in share screen. I don't want them to see
email it to yourself.
Right, but I'm going to do that once we're off the air because I'm sharing screen here.
I have a list of a frog and no frog list of all rest stops. ... And I'll put a picture of a frog.
So yeah, but we'll do. And here's another one. Yes, there's another classic. That's one. It actually does look like my foot has been desiccated there by being caught. This is the kind of fun that people have when they're running back and forth across state lines.
Are you sure you can't send me one? Like, don't.
I'll stop share and then I can do it. Hold on, I gotta because I do have actually a bunch of them as you've seen, folks. Because it is so exciting to come across a rest stop. So I'm going to send it to me, and then let me just get to this. Will only take a moment, folks. So appreciate your patience. I spelled frog forg again. Let's do the snow one. Those are good. And just going to do frog pics. And should I just CC you?
No, just send it to your, I'm gonna download it right now and then I'm gonna post it up there.
All right, I have three of them,
Okay.
so pick one.
Okay, so let's.
All right, so anyway, apologies, people, but it's just so weird that literally my Facebook feed has been following every weird aspect of my life so strangely directly that came up, and literally while I'm talking about girls stacking pickles, the Pickle Fest thing comes up in Boonesboro, Maryland. I Big Brother really is watching. And anyway, speaking of Big Brothers, Big Brother Logan fixed the doll that his sister was crying about. Thank you, Lolo. And he hugged her doll, which Ma had sewn for her out of fabric scraps. Are you hungry, Mrs. Wigglesworth? Would you like a pickle? Not making that up. Would you like a pickle? I think Mrs. Wigglesworth has gone without a pickle for many years now. Pa and Ma sat down too. Pa poured water into glasses. Ma ladled stew into bowls and passed around a plate of warm biscuits. Skeeter's eyes were alert for falling crumbs. Skeeter, of course, the dog. So, your mother and I have some news to share, Pa announced to the four children. We're getting divorced. No. Tess kicked Logan's leg under the table. Logan kicked her back. What is it, Pa? Drew asked, glancing up from his sums. I've decided to get a job, Pa explained. Ma squeezed his hand, and later something else. Logan was confused. What was Pa saying? He already had a job.
Can I show you, David?
He was a farmer. Yeah. Oh, you posted. Oh my God.
I put, I have a frog, no frog list, and then in here is a winter.
So that was in reply to her.
Yes. You can scroll, no, down.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Wait, there's
No.
there's no scrolling. There's no
Yeah,
scrolling
yeah.
up or down.
You don't know how to use
No, I don't.
anything. Okay. Right here. That is a response to her. Click on her thing and you'll see.
Oh, there it is.
So I responded, here's a wintry one.
Behold. And what's lovely, this was taken yesterday.
Yes, and
So the frog is still there.
So then click on that and you'll see. Click on the comments and you'll see yours.
Oh wait, let's see. So it's Lisa Giordano. I don't know who Lisa Giordano is.
Well, now she knows you.
So my wife wrote, "Here's a wintry one."
I did the first comment.
Yeah, I here's a wintry
No,
one.
that's not the first comment.
Oh, so first.
Stop.
What? The first one is dude.
No. The first comment you wrote, it says, I have.
I have a frog and no frog list. A frog and no frog list of all the rest stops. And then an image of a frog.
Wintry one.
And here's a wintry one. Yay! Yeah. This is what I live for, ladies and gentlemen.
We've never seen any other photo of the frog. You know?
No, or people will take a picture of the frog itself, but not a selfie with it.
This is the first time I've seen ever. Oh, and here's another for the Quad State Pickle Fest.
Oh, yeah, it's
the Quad State.
It's in was Boonesboro where they had the sheep thing?
No, I don't know where that is.
We have to go. We're going to Pickle Fest, ladies and gentlemen, unless it's so wearying and cucumbersome.
I couldn't agree more.
Thank you ever so much. Anywho, now typical, farm aid complaint. The father says, "We can't make enough money growing crops." Pa went on. "Times are tough. There's lots of families giving up on their farms. But I'm hopeful that I can find work in the digital sector. I'm hoping I can find work in Sherman." I guess Sherman is a close friend of his father. In fact, I have already posted several letters. Drew frowned and returned to adding numbers. "Oh, Pa," said Tess. Her chin trembled. Logan took a bite of stew. Tasted different for some reason. Yeah, because they've been using cat. He couldn't imagine not being farmers anymore. The Pryces had farmed this land since before he, Drew, Tess, and Annie were born, since before Pa and Ma were born. Besides, what could Pa do in Sherman? It's nothing like Maple Ridge. It was a big city full of shops, offices, and factories, and strip malls. Pa couldn't till soil or sow seeds there. Drew pointed to his notebook. I was just adding up the numbers. If I worked at the paper mill in Sherman, I could make $5 a week. That's $260 a year, which, by the way, will buy you a copy of both Smoke Hole and more about Smoke Hole. Just saying. Let's see.
What else we just got?
Yes. Pa shook his head. You will do no such thing. But Pa, Drew protested. No argument, said Pa. It's important that you stay in school so then you can get a big degree and owe money and still not get a fucking job.
No, then you can write a book about Smoke Hole.
True. I could sell my fox away, Logan suggested. I bet I could get $1 for it. Yeah, for me. What's a fox away, Lolo? Asked little Annie curiously. Logan stuck a biscuit in his mouth as he reached into his gunny sack. I think there are Catholic priests reading this book for reasons that go so far beyond. He pulled out the tin cup. The fox away is my latest and greatest invention. I'm almost finished with it. You hang it on the door of your hen house to scare foxes away. He said, through a mouthful of biscuit. I seriously, you hang it on the door of your hen house to scare foxes away. No one's going to pay $1 for your junk, Drew teased him. Logan's inventions are not junk, Tess burst out. I'm sure someone would gladly pay $1 for Logan's fox away, said Ma quickly. Don't you agree, Dale? Where did Dale come? Absolutely, Al. Oh, Dale is the father. Absolutely, Alice, replied Pa.
Dale's the real father.
Annie clutched her doll to her chest. Do I have to sell Mrs. Wigglesworth? No one is selling anything, declared Pa. Thank you all for offering to help, but we're gonna be fine. She was a distant cousin of Mrs. Butterworth, and Mrs. Butterworth got all the attention and the fame, right? Ma put her arms around Annie and Tess. We're gonna be just fine, she said brightly. Logan took another bite of stew, and he finally realized why it tasted different. There was no meat in it, only potatoes and carrots. Logan furrowed his brow in thought. Furrow. There had to be a way for him to make money for his family, but how? And then we'll stop here, but chapter 3, there's a picture of Logan wearing high heels walking the West Side Highway.
So he got his fox away. Good for him. He's an industrious boy.
He sure is. We're reading for Storytime on Dave's Gone By, Tales from Maple Ridge. Logan Pryce makes a mess. So far, the only mess he's made, actually, is kicking over a pail of milk.
He's a good kid.
Yeah, he's literally, there's no mess involved at all. If anything, his father's farm is a mess because they can't make a go of it.
Well, the father never works.
Yeah, it's true, right. There's snow covering the field.
Their father's home. The kids are out in the field doing stuff.
Yeah. Well, that's my kind of dad, let me tell you. Anyway, that is story time on this episode of Dave's Gone By, our 1030th show that we have done, and we are live on this Saturday, May 2nd, 2026. I'm Dave Lefkowitz. That is my darling, adorable, and wonderful wife, and you are all there watching at home, as you do every Saturday from 9 until noon-ish or thereabouts. It is noon. We're not quite finished with the program because we still have our Colorado Limerick of the Damned coming up. But before then, one thing that we very much like to do is to recognize some of the wonderful folks who have been on this program in months and years before. So, we've been on since 2002. So it is important to me to say, hey, look at all these wonderful, amazing people who've been guests on the program. They were doing X, Y, and Z when they were here. Now they're working on ZYX. This is what they've been up to since. They are our friends of the Daverhood. So, friends of the Daverhood, first of all, of course, we have a new one this week, Richard Caliban. He is going to be, or he is, or has directed the new play, Movies, TV, Mayhem, that you can see at the Theater Row Theater on West 42nd Street. That's between 9th and 10th Avenue. It's running from now until May 9th, and go check it out. By the way, he's also, this is kind of early, but in July he will be teaching an online playwriting class for Gotham writers. That is happening July 14th through September 22nd, but of course you've got to register and get there at the start of it. So that's, again, Richard Caliban, spelled just like it is in the Shakespeare play. And thank you also to Rabbi Sol Solomon for conducting that interview. Rabbi Sol's website is shalomdammit.com. Now, this is the place where you can read and hear and see all of his rabbinical reflections, his mini sermons. Plus, this is also the place where you can watch Rabbi Sol's stage show, accompanied by the great Richard Shore on piano. His show is called Shalom Dammit, An Evening with Rabbi Sol Solomon, as it was performed at the Richmond Shepherd Theater back in 2012. So the entire show, professionally videotaped by our great friend Evan Seplow, that is on shalomdammit.com. Plus, links to Rabbi Sol's hilarious stage show, hilarious TV show, also called Shalom Dammit, that he did for Long Island Television about 15 years ago. All of these links, all of this material, all the interviews he's done for this show, they're all linked in one hub called shalomdammit.com. And again, we thank Rabbi Sol and Richard Caliban for being here on this episode of the show. Now, we also have a bunch of other people who are the friends of the Daverhood because they've been on not this week, but in weeks and years past. For example, congratulations to our wonderful friend Ronald Rand, who has been selected as an artist for the Peru Biennial Residency. Now, Ronald is an actor. He's done a one-man show about Harold Clurman that he's toured all over the place. He also teaches acting and performance and, I think, voice. So yay for our friend Ronald Rand. Congratulations also to film director Ari Gold. He's got this website called cinemaverses.com, verses like in poems, V-E-R-S-E-S, cinemaverses.com, and he shares tips about indie filmmaking with the co-sponsor of that website, which happens to be a guy named Francis Ford Coppola. And Coppola co-produced Ari Gold's third film called Brother versus Brother, which is a real-life kind of documentary about Ari and his brother. We had Ari back on when he was pushing his first film, all about this air drummer. It was a cute little movie. The whole point is, I was just watching the short film Werner Herzog Eats His Shoe by Les Blank, and either in the film or commenting about the film, Werner Herzog is like, if you make a movie, you do whatever you have to I can't do his voice, but to whatever you have to beg, you borrow, you steal, you kill, you make the movie, and then you make another movie. And that's the life according to Werner Herzog, or at least when he was in his 20s and 30s, right? Nothing is more important than getting the movie done, right? And what can I say? He's done dozens and dozens of fiction films, documentary films, short films. So that's it's taken many years. But Ari Gold has made 3 feature films now, so congratulations to him on that. On today, May 2nd, Stuart Zagnet is at the Pokemon convention. He's just walking around there. That is in Nassau Coliseum
Wow.
on Long Island because Stuart Zagnick is the voice of Professor Oak in the Pokemon series and the Pokemon cartoons. So Stuart Zagnick, wonderful friend of the Daverhood. Want to let you know that on Monday night at 7, you can see David Yazbek, the theatrical composer. He is at 54 Below. Yazbek, very talented. His Broadway shows have included Women on the Verge of a Nervous Breakdown, The Full Monty, and, the one about the Arabs in Israel. And I'm sorry, but I'm...
It was with Jalub, right? Tony.
Yes.
Yes.
Did you see that with me?
Conversation or something. It was like The Talk.
Oh.
You told me about it.
Yeah, it was
It's
a
like
nice
The Talk,
musical.
The Conversation. Want me to
So,
find it out?
I'm sorry that I've forgotten it, but yeah, could you look at musical with Tony Shalhoub?
Musical with Tony Shalhoub about Israel. Musical on Broadway with Tony Shalhoub themed Israel.
Or Shalhoub might have been
The
in the
Band's Visit.
The Band's Visit, based on a fiction movie about it. Yeah, very nice musical, by the way.
I help you because you're cute.
Thank you. Whee. So, David Yazbek, he's performing Monday night at 54 Below. Becca Kidwell, also Monday night. Great title. She's at Don't Tell Mama with her cabaret show, 50 Ways to Leave Your 40s. So happy birthday, Becca Kidwell, also.
Look at this, David.
Do you want to share that or not?
No, that's what we have. We have that.
We have one of those without
Yes.
that. On Wednesday, May 6th, Willie Nile, rock performer, veteran Willie Nile, is at Joe's Pub on Lafayette Street. And then also on Wednesday, May 6th, as part of Leadership Week at the Los Angeles Tribune Summit, Leslie Grigg will be sharing his lecture, Untold Stories of Tater Tots.
Uh-oh.
As Potatoes would say,
Just gloss over that one.
where's Luigi when you need him? Oh, no, that's not nice. The Grigg family no longer owns Ore-Ida. They have nothing to do with it anymore. It's just legacy now. Anywho, on Friday, Seth Bisson-Hirsch is doing his talent showcase at Don't Tell Mama. He basically MCs an open mic of talent that he develops. And then going to Broadway, don't forget that Debbie Gravit is in Just in Time at Circle in the Square Theater. Anne Harada is in the very well-reviewed musical comedy Schmigadoon at the Nederlander Theater. Andre de Shields is like the key person in Cats, the Jellicle Ball at the Broadhurst Theater. Let's see, Richard Caliban directing movies, TV Mayhem, yes. Daphne Rubin Vega is in a revival of The Adding Machine that the new group is doing at St. Clement's Theater over on West 46th Street. And then moving back to Broadway, Lonnie Pryce is co-directing the new musical Beaches, which has book and lyrics by Iris Rayner Dart, who wrote the original novel and screenplay. That is at the Majestic Theater on Broadway. And playing now through tomorrow only, Ned Van Zant's solo show Lost in Del Valley is at the Soho Playhouse. And tomorrow, after the show, they'll have a talk back with LaShans, who's also our friend of the Daverhood. Vicky Quaddy, she does Late Night Catechism and other non-related shows in the Chicago area. David Sheward writes theater reviews for TotalTheater.com. We mentioned him before. Darren DeVivo has a new radio show called Noises from the Valley that he does on WKZE Radio on Friday evenings. High Drama is a theater review show hosted by our friend Eva Heineman. Two on the Aisle is a theater review show co-hosted by our friends Charlie Gross and Leslie Hoban Blake. And, of course, Jim Caruso's Cast Party every Monday night at Birdland. And those, my friends, are the friends of the Daverhood. Good enough play. They never stop. That's the thing about the Baroque and the what's the era after the Baroque? Not the Renaissance, but the Romantic era or whatever. It's just like you think the passage is coming to it. Stop! Just stop, right? But we're not stopping the show yet, because we still have a little bit more to do on this 1030th episode of the Dave's Gone By show. And it is, of course, our most unfortunate one. The clearest case of my arrested development as a human being, my friends, it is our Colorado Limerick of the Damned. Because my wife and I, as I keep mentioning, we were residents of northern Colorado for over a decade. And while I was there, I was part of a writers group, a wonderful group who met once a month and shared our writings. And when I was too lazy to come up with anything else, or just had a spark of demented brilliance, perhaps, I thought, hey, there's a lot of Colorado towns and cities and little hamlets and ghost towns that I can rhyme in a dirty, filthy, disgusting way and make poems about. So I started doing it just for kicks, and then kept doing it, and now it's probably 10 years. Like I've been doing these things, I don't know, proudly is the word, but, and I've been bringing a new one to you every single week here on Dave's Gone By. And yes, we have a new Colorado Limerick of the Damned, this one for College West Estates. Yeah, sometimes easy to rhyme, but so College West Estates. I'm going to tell you just a little bit about it. There's not really much to tell, actually. And then our poem of the week. Hey, play.
A limerick is a comic verse of 5 lines, in which lines 1, 2, and 5 will end with words that rhyme. And likewise, verses 3 and 4 also end with words that rhyme. So this is a limerick. Rocky Mountain,
Colorado, indeed, ladies and gentlemen, on this May 2nd. So College West Estates is a place. It's a neighborhood. It's not even. It's essentially a property development that is in Grand Junction, kind of near Colorado Mesa University, hence College West Estates. I guess it's west of Colorado Mesa University. And you can rent, it's weird, if you go on Zillow and Redfin, you can rent properties there, but they range from like $400 a month to $4,000 a month, but it's the same thing. It's like one bedroom, one room is $500 and another one bedroom is $25.
Maybe no transportation.
I have no idea how they, or how this thing works. But at least they have some stuff for sale there. If you wanted to move and live near Colorado Mesa, or CMU, as nobody calls it. So that's all I have for you about College West Estates, Colorado. Except, what I do have for you is our limerick, our filthy, disgusting, evil limerick of the damned. This, yeah, okay. My wife is ready there with the musical sting. College West Estates, our Colorado Limerick of the Damned. I know this girl from College West Estates who's smoking hot but won't put out on dates. Instead, she simply freezes and sends a prayer to Jesus and then goes home and wildly masturbates. If you want to complain, and why wouldn't you, remember that the email address is davesgoneby@aol.com, davesgoneby@aol.com. I try and read everything that I get. I respond to as much as I can, but I appreciate everything that you send in. Also on Facebook, if you post under my shows, or if you want to message me directly, I'll try and give a thumbs up or something. I will try and read everything, if not respond. But it's davesgoneby@aol.com. Remember that we also have an X feed. It's at Radio Dave 2, at Radio Dave 2. We're also on Blue Sky for no particular reason. I don't know if anybody's on Blue Sky, but it's Dave's Gone By there. We are on Instagram, david.lefkowitz. But again, all of these things are essentially the same stuff you can get on this website or on davesgoneby.com. The same stuff you'll get on Facebook. It's just bringing attention to the program. But all our stuff is either here, davesgoneby.com, or archive.org, or now, more recently, once the shows are done, they're going up on Spotify, and we have our last 10 years of broadcasts available on Spotify. So lots and lots of ways to get the wonderful material that we've been doing here in the Daverhood for years and years. So enjoy that. Also, I want to remind you, like I've got a website. Yes. Toy. Wait, is floss or is it a toy in the tank? Oh, yeah. My wife is showing me the butts on things, Facebook thing. Yes, my other website is davelefkowitz.org. davelefkowitz.org. That is not for the for the radio show or the podcast. That is for my writings, my interviews that were published in print for places like Long Island Woman and Long Island Pulse and Playbill. Plus, it's got all my song lyrics. Plus, it's got all my one-act plays, my full-length plays, my written oeuvre that is not connected necessarily to the show. All the other stuff that's good enough to print or just bad enough for me to post is at davelefkowitz.org. So please give it a look. So we've, I think we finished our business for this Saturday, May 2nd, 2026, concluding our 1030th episode of the show. Do we want to talk about the, or we can save this for next week because it's already quarter after, but did make notes about that New York Times story of the 30 greatest living American songwriters. We'll save it. Of course, there's people that they left out where you're going like, what? So a reason to tune in next Saturday, May 9th, for the 1031th episode of Dave's Gone By. Thank you to my darling and adorable wife. I want to send a shout-out, heavenward shout-out to my dad, who it will be, he passed away on May 5th of 2021. So 21. This will be the 5th anniversary of his passing.
He died on Cinco de Mayo.
Yeah, I know. So, again, one of the reasons that I can go back on davesgoneby.com is here the many, many times he was on our regular radio show or when Jeff Goodman and I were on late nights at GBB. So, yeah, my dad, Philip Lefkowitz. So sending him... no, it pisses me off, though, that my mother keeps reminding me that his yard site, because the Jewish calendar is different from the regular calendar, so he died on May 5th, but you memorialize him on May 9th, because the Jewish calendar goes by moons, and sometimes there's 12 months and sometimes there's 13.
You can yard whenever you want, honey.
Well, yeah, but it's like a birthday. You don't celebrate a birthday.
You celebrate your birthday for a month. Actually, 6 months. We have your pre-birthday month, your birthday month, and your post-birthday.
But it pisses me off that my father's death day is 4 days away.
So you do what you want.
Yeah, well, I'll do, we'll light a candle or something.
We have the electronic candles. You could light them.
But it's amazing. It was 5 years ago.
I know, right?
On like 3 days from now. So love you, Dad. Miss you, Dad. And thanks for being so fun and giving me so many hours of joy on this program, Dave's Gone By, which again, I will. My wife is doing something absolute. I'm the immature one. I'm the one who has no filter. Look, I'm going to spin the computer around. My wife is making the most obscene gestures. I don't even know what the hell that is. My father only wishes he were that huge. He only wishes he had every Jew wishes he had a schlong like what you're doing there. You would not believe what my wife was just doing here.
praying.
Yeah, she was praying. Yeah, you had my dad down on his knees. Is what you had him. God. Filth. Just filth. And I love it. Anywho. And Dad would have, I don't know if Dad would appreciate that, but no. And Mom, who might be watching, certainly I can appreciate that. But Dad would have appreciated the effort. So anyway.
Or the remembrance, probably.
Absolutely, absolutely. So loved you, Dad, love your Mom too. Regards to your Pop, and to all the folks and friends that we have listening, to all of you watching at home, telling friends about the show, sharing the program, sharing links, watching on Spotify or on right here on Facebook. Okay, hold on. We'll see you. Oh, God
That's why
willing.
we could use a spider monkey who could help us.
They have claws.
No, we
The second we go,
No, they're gentle. You'd be gentle.
an axolotl. An axolotl could just nudge it like.
No, they would eat it thinking it's a worm.
That's right. Or a cat would try. If it's deflates, the cat would eat it, and we have to remove it from its intestines.
Or a lofty dog.
Oh yeah. Anywho, we'll see you next Saturday for the 1031st episode of the Dave's Gone By Facebook Podcastio Programmio of the stream. Have a great week. Enjoy the weather. And we'll see you very soon. Oh, I didn't play along. I didn't play the music. Oh, and of course, thank you, Mr. President.